Hi guys, and welcome back to episode number 71 of the Couch on Ice podcast. I'm your host, Rhylan, and before we introduce the boys, or the games I should say, not the boys, I'll introduce the boys. How about I throw it over to Chase? How's it going this week, Chase?
Oh, not too shabby, not too shabby.
Hitting that ODR still?
Oh god, no, actually I haven't gone in a bit. Obviously, well, it was a little rough.
Yesterday.
Mad wind. It
days.
Dropped to minus 30 in a matter of a day. That was
man.
The whole roads were closed in all of Saskatchewan technically.
It was bad.
Not that so stops bad. Anybody.
No, we live in a small town just outside of Saskatoon, and we were driving to DQ because we were gonna go into a city. It was Kennedy's birthday for supper. But we couldn't even. I couldn't see the lights a block away, like the street lights. It was that bad and foggy and blowing snow. So we went to DQ, and oh my god, I've never been more uncomfortable driving in a town or city in my life than how much snow was in there. It was insane. Happily, it didn't last long. That's for sure. But at least we got our ice cream cake, so we were good.
That's what you need, man.
That's what we need. Yeah, we got ice cream cake and some food from DQ, and we're just chilling.
People that visit Canada say they're just man, the ice cream in DQ is definitely something you miss, and
oh really?
It's not there. And,
is it it's not the same?
It must not be, or something or blizzards or whatever the heck we got going on.
It's like going to the States as a kid and I want an iced tea, and then realizing it literally means iced tea.
Yeah, that's the weirdest thing on
not sweet tea. That used to piss me off so much as a kid. My parents used to have to lecture me every time we were going remember, don't get the sweet tea because we don't want to hear you bitching about it. So, okay. But how about I throw it over to Jordan? What are you up to this week, Jordan?
Just getting things in order.
You got a puppy? Don't think you announced it to the podcast. At home waiting for you?
Back home, it's a big old husky named Jasper.
Oh, huskies are the best, man.
Yeah, a big fucker.
Haven't even met him yet.
Wow. Love huskies, man. They're so
yeah,
cool.
Oh yeah. Matt, do you remember Sketch? You remember Sketch? I was just about to say, you remember Sketch? Sketch was the best.
He is the husky that I'm talking about.
She
is the greatest dog
best.
On earth.
Love
and he's dead.
She has passed away.
Hey, that's okay. I was always the one that said he, so.
Yeah. Oh, really?
I was when I was young, for all the time until. I'm sure when I was a kid, I called every dog a he.
Probably called every. Things. Yeah, exactly. Hey, but enough of dog talk. Should we dive into some hockey games that we watched?
Yeah.
Cool. I will throw it over to you, Jordan, and you can kick us off with your quick rips.
Well, I let's get the elephant out of the room. Colorado. They had a home winning streak of 18 games, which I believe set an NHL record.
Close to. I don't think quite.
Or fifth longest. Sorry, the fifth longest.
Yeah, it was tied with Boston or something. Yep.
Yeah. They lost to Arizona in a shootout. 3-2.
L.
Yeah, it was definitely an unlucky game for the Avs. I think they hit the post twice. Arizona didn't really score the nicest of goals. They were a bit fluky.
Yeah.
But one good thing for the Avs, they still haven't lost in regulation time in at least 2 months.
That's still pretty impressive.
Right?
Holy shit. That's a really good stat.
Yeah.
That's
did not
insane.
expect the old Yotes to pull that one out. Old Wedgwood, hey buddy.
No.
Yeah, Wedgwood had an unbelievable game.
Well, that's the only position where the Coyotes have strength right now, apparently, is goaltending.
No
Wedgwood and Vejmelka are better than Montreal's goaltending, Seattle's goaltending, Buffalo, a lot of teams.
Speaking of goaltending, let's talk about the Caps and Pittsburgh game a little bit before Rhylan goes more into it later. The Capitals won in overtime.
Yeah, overtime.
Which doesn't happen very often.
No.
The only thing I'll say about it that I wanted to bring up is Samsonov stopped 43 of 45 shots, which is a 9.56 save percentage.
Yep.
He faced 33 shots at even strength. He looked elite. That is the Samsonov.
Oh yeah, I'll get into the game and go in depth because there's a lot to talk about this game. This is one of the best games of the year, honestly. Yeah. Like, it was competitive, it was fast, a whole game, 60 minutes. It went to overtime. Two of the best rivals in the East. Like, everything you could ask for, almost
unreal.
The only thing you could ask for in this game that didn't happen was the two big dogs scoring. But they set up shit, so who cared? But yeah, we'll get into that. So, do I continue with any of your other quick rips? Or if you have another one?
Yeah, the only other one I got is I just wanted to say we have been talking shit on Mitch Marner, so I might as well bring up the fact that he got 4 points, 2 goals, 2 assists against the Devils in a 7-1 win.
Yeah.
Can I piggyback off of that with a quick rip? Because, I feel you, dog. We've been
I just wanted to give a shout out to Marner because I feel like we and other people, everyone this season's been hard, but this was definitely his game.
Fair enough. Exactly. To the old sticky Maple Leafs, hey, like, ever since I snubbed Marner on that All-Star team, he's just gotten a goal. Like, got 1 power play goal over the last, year or whatever. And, he now has goals in 7 straight games with that 2 goal and 2 assist night performance on Tuesday. So you could say he's already on next year's All-Star team for me. So
I have a question. This might be
funny.
I have a Marner question, and now this is a very specific type of question. It's gonna sound like no right off the bat, but
I guess
think about it for a second. Just 1 second. Let me ask this. Marner, is Marner a top 5 scorer in the NHL? Pure scorer. No, take away everything else out of the game. Take away skating ability and stuff. Just getting points.
No.
Is he a top 5, top 10?
Goals?
No,
goals?
Points.
Just points.
Just points.
Yeah, he can do that.
Okay, points. Yes.
Do you think he is top 5, top 10 now?
With the way he's playing right now, and if he keeps this up, because this is something that I like. Yeah, he needs to play like this more,
absolutely.
all the time. Because that's why I snubbed him more or less. Again, other reason I guess I snubbed him on the All-Star break. Because man, you can do better and you can be better, and if we can see this, I think he can be. I've compared him to Kane. I think he can be.
Yeah, we know how
that type of guy. So, when we did that stupid Marner trade to Seattle, I was just it kind of clicked in me that that's like a perfect Jonathan Toews Kane sort of situation with Matt Beniers and Marner. So I do think that. I do think he is like a top at least 10 point getter in the league from now on, because he's basically almost done it, or at least definitely showing flashes.
Yeah, exactly.
And see too many kids get over a point per game, right?
Well, here's why I brought it up. So since 2017, Mitch Marner is 11th in scoring, and in 147 games since 2017, he scored 171 points. That's from his second year to now. That's insane. Ridiculous. I know there's obviously the McDavid, the Leon and stuff up top, the big dogs, but man, I thought I'd ask because he is a pure scorer, and I know a lot of other intangibles like Mark Stone you're going to want over a Mitch Marner because of the other stuff he brings, but just wanted to ask the question.
It has been 3 straight seasons of over a point per game, which is insane. Actually mind-blowing.
Is insane for a winger.
So hard to do.
A winger, it's not I shouldn't say it is not as easy as a winger, but and the Leafs have a lot of pressure on them. Yeah, point per game as a 20-year-old to 23, 24-year-old in Toronto is pretty impressive. So thought I'd just ask the question. Sorry to cut you off with what you're about to say, but
that's basically I was just kind of what my point was there. That's what I was gonna say anyways, because I think he can be this guy.
Yeah, he definitely can.
I want him to be this guy before I can dub him an all-star, and it's nice to see him doing it. And I'm just seeing now Kane 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times, 6 maybe or so that he's gotten over a point per game.
Yeah, absolutely. So you gotta get to that level. That's over his
whole career. Marner's 3 seasons away from doing it, and there's no way he doesn't. When you have a guy like Matthews that can score, Like he's 100% in the top 10.
Even
I think.
Tavares, so
really,
like
really
he can
think
play
about
with
it.
Tavares, and he'd probably get 82 points.
Easy, yeah, no doubt.
So.
Yeah.
No, it's just thought so. I bring up my ass. Anyways, that's all your quick whips, Jordan.
Yeah, that's all I got.
Okay, cool. I will throw it over to Chase, and Chase, you can throw in a couple of your quick whips.
Okay, hit you hard here, boys. Let's take you into the pizza box, where the Ducks are looking at the Wings here. Hop into the second period as getting the craving is smoking Nick Leddy as he left the game early. I don't know if you know Jay Cutler. Back in the day, they were always like smoking Jay Cut. Like smoking in the offseason or something.
Yeah.
And I am dubbing Nick Leddy the next smoking Nick Leddy because the guy's just hanging out smoking darts back there. Like
in
I
the
said,
shower. Sitting in the shower.
Like I said, the guy just left halfway through the game. Probably got a craving, smoking some darts or something. So he gives the dance floor to Jordan Osterley as once again, no DeKaiser in the lineup. Oh, so good. And
I've never seen you like be so hard for the Wings since they've been bad since DeKaiser's been out. You're
Dude,
like, I'll actually watch you guys' games now. DeKaiser's not there.
Oh, it's about time. Well, it's a sick matchup. Got the rookie matchup here, Ducks and
Absolutely.
Wings, but it was all meant to be as Osterley scores the OT winner. First guy out and hugging him is Sider. He's just screaming inside, "Don't leave me! Don't make me play with the Kaiser again, please!"
Honestly,
oh Jesus,
so good.
Yeah, Osterley played almost 25 minutes, 24.
That's
30,
insane.
obviously because
he's really
of
good,
the Leddy injury. Oh, he's way better. Like his
he's
hands
so good.
Are quick. He can skate quickly and stuff.
I love Osterley.
Like a dumbass.
Like, he's such a good two-way. More defensive-minded, probably, but
yeah, man.
good,
yeah,
man.
No, he's way better than DeKaiser, and I hope we just. I hope
probably better than Leddy too.
I hope the idea was to like go. You know what? I'll get into it later.
Yeah.
Actually,
are you still?
Because DeKaiser, I hope the plan was to play him the first half and see if he could do better or be better or something. And I hope they move on. And the second half is like very limited.
They got to if they're realizing it now. Like finally.
Oh, it's like.
And to piggyback on your Wings just for a half a second, I just want to agree with you in what you said last podcast. As you brought up Wings fans on Twitter. Guess what I found on Twitter all this week? Wings fans like, oh, you're crazy if you think Raymond's not the best player. It's the best rookie. It's like, shut the fuck up. Nobody cares. Yeah. First of all, you got the wrong Red Wing.
No shit, hey. Like, let's get to that.
It's so stupid. I'm just so frustrated with these fans. Like, Red Wing fans suck on Twitter.
Exactly. Screw Raymond and Zegras. Like Anton Lundell instantly proves what I brought up last episode. The reason he is a rookie all-star in that starting lineup we created. Got 5 assists in that night, man.
Like, I know. He's ridiculous.
Jesus, what a boss.
What a punch for Florida.
Right.
Like that forward group it's starting to look better. It's better than Tampa. And Colorado, like it is, like their offensive capability isn't, but like from the high end.
Well, maybe, I don't know. I think their offensive capability is better because they have 3 lines that can come at you. Like they got that Marchment. Like who cares?
I'm talking about defense. I'm talking about the back end. As much as Colorado, I was just letting that Colorado.
What do you mean? They got the boy Gustav Forsling. He's pretty nasty.
I'm saying that they're a better forward offense than Colorado and Tampa, maybe, but defensive offense is probably better still in.
Okay, I heard that.
Colorado and Tampa. Yeah. That's just the point I was trying to get across. But this Florida, their forward group is insane. It's terrifying.
Yeah, Reinhardt, I think, got like a hat trick and an assist.
Yeah. And while you're on it, do you want to dive in?
Like I said, who cares about any of those guys? Mason Marchment, balling tall like Yao Ming, getting 2 goals and 4 assists. Like, give the guy
which ties a franchise record for most points in a game by a Florida Panther.
Yeah, hey, like,
Also
wow.
worth noting that if you can get Mason Marchment to score 6 points, you will get a full attendance for the first time in your franchise history.
Nice.
As they have been packed, Florida, this past month.
Man.
But they have also scored, I believe, 70 goals this month. This month.
Holy shit,
so,
dude.
Just a couple Florida stats for you.
Yeah, no, that was an insanely fun game to watch. That is for sure. That was just nuts. That Washington Caps game was on. There was a Rangers. Geez, what was that Rangers game? I already lost it in my head. What was that Rangers game? Why can't I think of it? There was a Tampa San Jose game.
Yeah,
that was so good too.
Like Rangers Panthers.
It was the Rangers beating the Panthers.
Yeah,
my God. See, yeah, I was talking about the Panthers. Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
But yeah. Anyways, I'll move on. I got another one here. What else do I got? Let's take you to the country. Get you a little Texas in here. Joel Hanley throws a changeup on Markstrom as his shot tips and flutters up. Markstrom loses it, and it squeezes through his 5-hole. You noticed right at the end, it was hilarious. Markstrom looking for another changeup, apparently, on the next one, as he just completely misses Jason Robertson's shot, which really seemed a pretty easy save for him. That's for sure. But then he gets pulled.
Win, though?
Yeah, he got pulled. He got pulled after Ben's goal.
Pulled for Darth Vader. And cue the Star Wars music, boys, because they just walk in and just drop these guys to their knees. Like, what an unreal
backups in the entire league this season.
Yeah,
especially for like a solid goalie.
I would say that.
Chase,
when he comes in, he's so set.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. When did Vladar come into the game? Roughly, like
third period.
Third period.
It was in the third period.
Okay.
Yeah, I think Markstrom went into the. He had to have gone into the intermission and said, like, guys, like, I'm going to let another goal in, like, straight up. I will.
Nope. I just wanted to bring that up because a time frame, because guess how many saves he made, which is where I'm kind of poking at Dallas. He only had to make 5 saves. The fact that Dallas had 5 shots in that third period and lost, it's all on them. 100% Dallas's fault they lost.
Yeah, no, they definitely just let this get away, especially at home. That's
big time. Big time.
Pretty,
a new goalie comes in third period. You're winning 3-1. Like, you don't want to go out and pepper that goalie. Like, that's you need to do. Like, that's what every coach says when a goalie makes change, and they make 5 shots. It's not okay.
Yeah, no doubt. Now they're definitely having a little trouble with these little more upper echelon teams. This was a good game, definitely for like the first.
Oh yeah, it was a good game.
2 periods and such like that. But like I said with Markstrom, like it probably should have been 1-1 going into the going into the third period instead of 3-1. So deservedly so in a sense that Calgary won that game. But yeah, like Stars lost to the Capitals 5-1 recently, and then they beat the Bruins 6-1, and then they just give up that one. And with the Flames, it's a little strange. Classic Stars, hey?
Yeah, absolutely. Very classic
showing
Stars.
Up when they
just
want
show
to.
Up half the time and half care.
Yeah. I got one more.
One more?
The old Hedman, like a hawk, gliding through the air, just hanging out, cutting across the slot, waiting for the screen, and just places that puck in the net. Doesn't even shoot it. It looked like he just was placed
waited.
It in there. Hardly even shot it. It was just unreal. Like, I was kind of ripping this guy a while back about there being another level he can play offensively, and like he's really showing me that lately.
Yeah, man, you gotta stop. You gotta start calling out just the Wings team so you can get some more wins. Like everyone you call out's been dynamite.
No shit.
Actually, this podcast this year has been really bad for calling out players when they were struggling to just being like, yeah, fuck you, we're gonna be good. Jordan's got Chris Kreider. I've got Pierre Engvall. Chase has got everyone else.
Well, once I bring up anybody that like isn't doing like so much, they just instantly start fucking doing shit. So
if you're like, underwhelming,
way to go.
Yeah, no kidding, hey. Why are the Flyers still bad then? We talk about them being bad all the time.
That's true. I gave up on the Flyers, and they actually just fell apart.
They fell apart worse. Yeah.
Holy shit.
Oh.
Actually, hey, there's still hope.
There's still hope.
They can go for that 9-1 streak like they did. So
yeah. Well, I'll get into the Flyers in a second.
But yeah, go ahead. That's all I got.
That's all you got? Cool. Literally in a second then, because I'm going to talk about the Flyers and Jets game. Funny enough, we're not going to make fun of the Flyers, as they won 3-1 against the Jets. And man, this Jets team is frustrating. It's so frustrating to look at this team. Look at how they're built. They're a very well-built team. They got a great 1-2 center punch, which is pretty much playoff money formula. And you got a good goalie. I don't know.
They straight up just didn't play Comrie for some reason.
Yeah.
He played so good the last game, I think.
He was so good.
Can I tell you guys Connor Hellebuck's record for a second?
No, I don't want to hear it because it's probably bad. But
14, 15, and 6.
Yeah,
that's unacceptable for a goalie of that caliber of what he can do.
Yeah.
Completely unacceptable for him. And I don't mean to have such high expectations, but when you go 3 years being a Vezina, literally named the second best goalie in the NHL.
He's doing weird stuff, man. I remember the one Capitals game where Kuzi had the puck and he was getting pressured, and it was like a 3-on-3. And what he did was wrap around the net, and for some reason, Hellebuck goes to poke at his stick.
Yeah,
the guy's all over him, but he's protecting the net, and then he pokes at his stick. Well, then what does Kuzi do? Well, he's going around the net. You're already out of position. Passes it over front, the guy shot it in.
It's simple.
What are you doing, man? You're just literally trying to.
Yeah, I don't know. It seems like he's on autopilot right now, and
it does.
He needs to turn that off fast. Here, Chase, start ripping on Hellebuck. Maybe he'll win the Vezina.
I was worried about this guy. I didn't think he was going to have a great season this year, but this is underwhelming.
I thought he would be good. I didn't think he'd be the best top 5 goalie, maybe, or top 3, but I thought he'd be way better than this. Shit. To add, Kyle Connor did score his 25th goal, keep scoring, and Cole Perfetti assisted it. So some good things. And then to say some good things about the Flyers, I'll dive deeper a little bit later, but Carter Hart needs more credit for what he's doing in Philly, because they flip-flopped from last year. Last year, the team was decent, but he was kind of useless. This year, he's been fantastic, but this team is awful. Completely useless. So I want to give a good win for him. He shut the door, only let in 1, and has been good all year, so had to point him out. Now, jumping back to the Leafs a little bit, Jordan kind of mentioned a little bit, so I'm going to talk about their back-to-back game against the Devils both nights. First game the Leafs played, they beat them 6-4 and kind of just walked them. Austin Matthews got a hat trick, and this New Jersey team is just not ready. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, too young.
There's a couple guys, I was actually just saying to Jordan before the podcast, I was looking at Hischier's defensive numbers, and he's been one of the best defensive centers in the league, actually.
Dude, Hischier's unreal, dude. Unreal. He's just not getting lots of points, and his team's
which is fine.
Good.
Yeah, and that happens. So I just wanted to throw him out there. He's having a pretty good year, defensively at least. And then
they played great for the first.
They played good the first period.
The third period, oh my goodness.
Yeah, and
Toronto Maple Leafs
then they carried it to the next game as well, because the next night they played a back-to-back against each other, and the Leafs win 7-1. Absolutely dismantled this team all over Instagram, Twitter, no matter what it was. Hockey fans were ripping on this New Jersey team, so I feel like they're probably sad right now after their past couple nights and are probably down in a bottle right now. So just wanted to shout them out, and it will get better eventually.
Yeah, everybody on your team's under 23, so
yeah. I got one more game to talk about. I guess I could do another one if you guys want me to, but the big one I want to talk about is the Oilers-Senators game. This one went to overtime. Another game Edmonton needs to win. Another game they put in Koskinen. Another game they lose. Ottawa wins 3-2 in OT there. Matt Murray's starting again, and this guy has been awesome since coming back from the AHL. And I know we did our awards last week, and we skipped one because it's not hockey related as much, but I think we pretty much just listed who wins the Bill Masterton, hey?
Yeah.
Wow, like
comeback player. If he continues this and it is an NHL goalie and shows they still worth a contract and at least a 1A or something, like, yeah, like, why not? Like, unless he lets in 8 goals a game for the rest of the year, pretty much, like, yeah, he's probably the best guy for it. I don't know, is there another name you guys think over him? I just want to bring up him.
I haven't really thought about the random guys that were not around last year or something. Yeah.
Right now, I think he's leading. I mean, I'm totally ready to be proven wrong. If you want to tweet it at me or whatever, then at the Couch on Ice, then do it. Correct me, but no, I just want to bring it up. And then obviously bringing up the fact that Oilers lose, that was my main point. Koskinen losing another game, letting in 3 goals on 31 shots. I am really, really worried about Edmonton. Like, I know people were there like weeks ago and we're kind of just getting to it now, but they can't even beat Ottawa, guys. Like, I know Ottawa's been playing better. It's just this looks bad. This looks really bad, and they need a goalie. Like, if not a goalie to not place Koskinen. Honestly, like, it's, I don't know. I genuinely don't know what the answer is. I wonder if getting someone cheap like Wedgwood, or if you were healthy like a Malcolm Subban, would have been worth it. But, like, yeah. Just had to bring up the fact that Oilers lost again, and they don't have many losses left before they're kind of pushed themselves out.
Yeah, it was an OT loss at least.
It was an OT loss. I'm just saying, it's a team you don't lose to. That's a win. Yeah. Especially you said their schedule. I'm also piggybacking on your future watch of their being the worst schedule. Definitely. And you lose this game. Like, this was the exact game Chase said they can't lose. They lost it. Overtime or not, they lost it. Like, if you start cheering for mercy points all the time, you're never going to get anywhere. You can do it here and there when you have a shitty game, but, like, you can't do it all the time. So, had to bring up them and just, it
doesn't get easier.
Further behind the 8 ball. Yeah, more losses, the further you're behind you are. It's as simple as that. So, and yeah, that's all I got for the quick rip games. Should we transition into our in-depth review of a game quick? And I'll piggyback off that right away, and I'll just do the Washington-Pittsburgh game. We kind of buried it earlier, the lead. So let's talk about how awesome this game was. And start off with the score. Washington won in overtime 4-3, like Jordan mentioned. Like he said, they hardly ever do, but Orlov decided, I want to win today, and he did.
What a snipe.
Yeah, but let's start at the start of the game, where very interesting start of the game as Pittsburgh gets a power play right away, and what do you know, Nick Dowd's on a breakaway and scores. Great start for Pittsburgh. I was like, shit. And then not 5 seconds later, Gino snipes one on Vanacek. I'm like, oh, great. And then a whole bunch, like, I can't remember when he got pulled, if it was right after the first goal or the second goal, Vanacek. I think it was after the first one. And
yeah, it was after the first one, dude. It was the most rattling thing I was watching the game, and I was like,
that was the best thing they ever did.
Game, I'm like, since when did Samsonov go in? Because, like, dude, I put him in my lineup, in my fantasy lineup, because I took him in. I put him in over Bobrovsky because Bobrovsky plays like no games after the All-Star break. And I was just shitting bricks. I'm like, man, this might not go well. I might get like one start out of this.
Yeah.
And I'm real happy about
that.
Started the game, but he went down in the first injured.
Yeah, it seems really? It was sort of in it. Yeah, Kapanen flew into him. He was flying, Kapanen. He got hit, sort of.
That's why he left.
That's one. Yeah,
seeing that. I didn't even click in. Hilarious.
But know what? That was the best thing that ever happened because Samson was fantastic after. But the goal I have to talk about in depth is Brian Rust's first goal. that power play goal.
Mm.
We danced around you passing the puck until all your players skated out of your own zone on that power play till we scored. Like, that's how bad we burned you guys on that. And they do it once every like 15 games, Pittsburgh, where they make this incredible passing play. And it all started when Malkin got decked at the blue line by Tom Wilson. But as he's in the air being hit, he shot the puck in the zone that was just on the blue line. And then they made a beautiful passing play with like Malkin, Rust, Gensel, Tang, just everyone, and just perfect goal. So I was just so happy after scoring that. And then it wouldn't be fair if I didn't talk about another great goal back for Washington. So I'm going to skip ahead to that Daniel Sprong goal. Man,
Nice.
There's a couple things. Off the start, Sprong was struggling. He got a lot of penalties in that game. Like, I think he got like 2 or 3 penalties, and they were early and not good ones either. They were like trippings, high sticks, stuff like that. So, but that goal, I was like, wow, I kind of wish we still had him on our third line to score some goals. It was really
hilarious.
good.
He just completely annihilated Tom Wilson after that goal. That was hilarious.
Oh yeah,
scores that and just rocks Tom.
It was so amazing, man. Loved it.
So funny.
So what a great goal for Sprong, and just back and forth constantly. The hits were flying. Everyone was hitting. Everyone was trying to score. Mike Matheson played awesome. He didn't get a point or score, but he looked like he was ready to score. So lots of guys where I'm just a great game. Most enjoyable loss I've watched the Penguins have this year, for sure, is what I will say. So, that's my
9 shots on goal, Rusty. Oh, Christ.
I should probably bring up Russ too. The fact that he had 2 goals and has like 27 points this month or something. I read.
Yeah,
it's insane.
Annihilation.
3 power play goals for Pittsburgh as well, which was pretty awesome because our power play was pretty dog-dicked for a while. But that's all I got for this game. Every single person on each team I could probably say had a good game, which doesn't happen often. So
that's a game everybody shows up to. Nice to see the depth do what it did in that game, even though it didn't come up on the score sheet as much as I kind of thought it would, other than like Nick Dowd goal there.
Man, that's exactly where I was leaning. Washington, your guys' fourth line there is so good. I love that line. Dowd, Hathaway, like not quite as much as I love my McGinn, Bluger, and Aston Reese line, but like it's fucking good too, man. Like these are 2 of the best depth lines I've seen in the NHL. Just for everything involved too, defense, offense, just creating transition, whatever it is. So good.
Who would have thought Garnet Hathaway this year would become an elite sniper?
Yeah, exactly. Hey, like who would have thought your fourth line would actually get you potentially 30 goals this year? Like that's amazing if your fourth line can score that many between them.
Yep, certainly.
So, what a year for you guys, and continue. What do you guys got for an in-depth game? Who wants to go next?
I'll go with mine.
All right, Jordan, what do you got for us?
I've got Buffalo and Vegas. This is the first time since 2020 that Buffalo plays Vegas.
Really? Interesting. And this is the first time playing since the trade, obviously, too.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
so
I actually
looked Puck's return, as well as I will spoil the result 5-2 for Vegas. It's their 200th win in franchise history.
Nice.
Oh, what? Cool. Yeah. I was actually looking at Vegas' schedule, and I think it was like March 10th or something like that. Is Buffalo Vegas game, so like Eichel might actually play.
That would be amazing.
His first game or one of his first games with the Knights against Buffalo.
Put that note down.
He's probably going to be back this month. It sounds like we're at the end of this month, seemingly.
Yeah, it was like halfway through this month. They said he's about a month away, so like he's not that far behind. He's about half a month away, seemingly, as long as there's no setbacks.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So that'd be cool if he
ends
up playing against the Sabres.
Absolutely. But how did the players actually playing in that trade do, Jordan?
I mean, Tuck bagged himself a goal.
Yeah.
Which is definitely something to say, especially when you're 4-0 down late in the second.
Yeah, he is everywhere for that team too.
Yeah.
Fuck, he flies everywhere. Loves playing for them, and I didn't think anyone could be.
Definitely a Vegas night, though. Vegas was the team to watch.
Absolutely, as they typically are.
Right, like Marchessault bagged his 20th goal this season on the power play. Not his 20th on the power play, but his
20th goal. That's crazy. He's already hit 20.
Power play.
I love Marchessault. He's like one of my favorite players. He's
Brett
just
Howden, surprisingly, was somebody that I had my eye on a lot.
Nice. Good. Finally.
He's had a goal in his last 3 games.
Man, that guy's awesome. I love watching him.
I love Howden.
Out there.
I would. There's a couple moments where it seems like he forgets. It's not that he forgets he's playing hockey. It's just his brain isn't as fast as everyone else's, which I get because like neither is ours, obviously. Or else we'd be in the NHL. But no, he's a very good, strong 2-way center.
Yep.
So good to see him actually on the score sheet for once.
Yep. And Robin Lehner looked wicked good.
Yeah, which is good because it's been a little bit of a shaky year. Not
it's
having the safety behind him and Fleury has definitely not been the same, but obviously this team is a wagon. So what do you got to say about Buffalo? Anything good, bad? I mean, obviously, like, you know, they're going to lose a lot of games like that. They're not the best team. But some good things. Some really bad things, even. Some things that Buffalo need to get rid of.
It was just a really poor defensive night.
Yeah, that's
like
usually. How is Deline? That's a player I want to know about.
When you've got some depth guys scoring on you too, right?
Yeah, that's fair. How did Rasmus Dahlin play? Because he started off the year as probably the worst defenseman in the NHL, and has been very solid. As probably halfway through the quarter mark of the season, I guess.
Yeah.
He's been pretty good as of late.
He had a good game because I don't think anyone who gets 5 goals bagged on them is having a good game, but I wouldn't say he looked bad.
Was he creating? If he was flying out there creating, poking pucks away and stuff. If he was noticeable in a team that loses, then that usually means he either was awful or pretty good.
Yeah.
He definitely likes having that Yoki Haru with him.
Yes.
He does not seem to play very good hockey unless he has him with him.
Which is fine because Yoki Haru's been needing a home for a long time as well.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's a guy I thought would be a top 4 D-man, a big, strong top 4
Well, you're wrong. He's a top 2 D-man.
He's a top 2 D-man,
minutes a night almost.
I guess so, hey? Like, I'm so happy. I hope he sticks there and has a home.
I hope he can actually do that. Because if those 2 guys can grow together, then all you have to do is make a line with...
you just need one more line with power and you're good. You got your defense core for the next 10 years. 8 years, whatever. But yeah, no. Austin, you got
at least one of
them. Say about this game is to expand on Vegas winning their 200th win. They are the fastest team to 200 franchise wins.
Yeah, I believe it.
I'm not surprised in 337 games. They won 200 of them.
That's insane.
That's ridiculous.
Good old Vegas. Love that.
Regular season, of course. That doesn't include their playoffs.
Yeah, the playoffs.
Yeah, let's not embarrass the whole league with
exactly. Yeah, exactly. No kidding. Is that all you got for us, Jordan, on your Vegas Buffalo game? Cool. I'll throw it over to you then, Chase, and you can close out this in-depth review segment.
Hell yeah. I'm going to take her even deeper into that Wings Ducks game, the old pizza box, buddy. God, I love when you get matchups like that. Like I said earlier, just amazing matchups. We had 2 days off here, boys, and we had so much content and great hockey actually to cover. Really getting annoyed over the 10, 12 games on at the start of at 6 o'clock, and you can only watch like 1, 2, or 3 of them.
Kidding, hey.
I remember the one day last Thursday, I think it was just 10 or 12 games on. I don't know what happened in the first period of any of those games. I was trying to watch anything and I couldn't. I just was like, I don't know.
You ended up skipping
I don't know what's
channels
happening.
more than watching hockey.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It was like, I don't know what's going on. Why am I trying? I want to watch like 4 or 5 games. I can't even watch like one. So
I usually just pick one. I have 2 TVs that I watch on. So I put 2 games on that I want to watch, and then I watch on my phone. I'm like scrolling, looking at games interesting. If one game gets too boring, I switch it.
Yeah.
That's what I do typically. But yeah, no, I know what you mean. Especially when there's lots of games on, it's hell.
Yeah, no, it's insane. But any hoot, any in a hoedown.
Yeah.
Let's start with Larkin starting the game off in the first period, getting his 23rd, guys. Like
he's been lights out this year, man.
That is more than Pasternak, actually, from what I understand. I think he's got like 22.
Wow.
So actual goal scorers don't have as many as he does, or right, he's right around there. That's so. I think that's so mind blowing.
He is an actual goal scorer this year.
He is a 50-50 guy, like Crosby and those guys. That's so sweet. He's gonna get like 30 and 40 or 30 and 50 or something like that for hopefully the foreseeable future. But yeah, Zadina hooks him up with the pass. Little Gustav Lindstrom.
How you feeling about Zadina lately, man?
He's looked a little bit better. Like the one thing I want to say about Zadina is like, dude, we literally just said figure it out on the second line and gave him no help. This guy needs actual players to play with. We've been completely suffocating his growth the whole time we've had him, whether they like to think it or not. I know he's getting better two-way and stuff like that, but I'm sure he would have done a lot more if you actually put him with Larkin and our talented players more often than like almost not. So that's what I have to say about that, because it seemed like he played like a minute with Larkin and he got
deserved more minutes, or at least more time on the ice with a
better players
line, right?
Yeah, no, it is that. Like, he doesn't need more minutes. He needs to play with better players. He played with like Fabry at a time when he was trying to play center, or Veleno was in there. We didn't have a second line center last year. So those guys were doing the best themselves to get better. They weren't making players better around them. And that's what Zadina needs. He's the Caulfield. He's the guy. He's like the hangout guy. He's not the I create and do everything like Larkin seemingly is.
I float around the net and I pot in anything that comes near me.
That's make a good pass, that sort of stuff. Exactly. He's not creating all the things. Watch Voracek, and that is not Zadina. Voracek, I think they're from like the same place, more or less. Actually, that's kind of funny. But yeah, hunts around making plays. Zadina's just not that guy. He needs to play with better players, and I want to see it happen, kind of. But we have Raymond now, so it's kind of hard to do so. But Gustav Lindstrom's the other guy I got to bring up, because he's been just downright awesome for us. I don't know why people keep talking about us trading for a right-handed D-man, because you're all wrong. We're not trading for a right-handed D-man. We don't need one. We have three. It's not like for the rest of time, we will not need a right-handed D-man unless we plan on moving Hronik. Like, just get that through your head.
Yeah, as long as Lundell continues this trend, which looking good so far, like you said.
Yeah, the old not so Nick Lindstrom.
yeah.
Other than that,
Lindstrom's.
Like I said earlier, Nick Leddy got hurt, left the game. I'm not sure what happened to old Nick Leddy there. Yeah, he was weirdly a +1 in this game. Amazing.
Must have played one shift and didn't make a breakout pass.
Yeah, he must have been. Oh, he was probably changing when Larkin got that goal. Hey,
Larkin's so fast that he beat him changing to scoring.
Yeah.
Sounds right.
Yeah, Larkin got like 7 shots, goal and an assist. Got an assist on the Osterley OT winner. This was a fun game, man. Ducks, really good team. I love this team almost as much as I love the Wings. Sometimes it's pretty awesome. Zegras was good, but I didn't get too much pop out of the Anaheim team. I kind of expected a little bit more in a sense, but it was kind of weird that it turned into being a hard-fought game more than I was thinking 4 goals and then maybe to the OT and get a 5th goal, but just low scoring.
Yeah.
Odd that it was low scoring to me. But that's just how it is. Like Ducks got 15 shots. Like, it's so weird. I don't know
That's
if we've
so
done
weird.
that. I don't think we've done that, like, ever. Like, all year. Like, this is
held someone that few shots.
yeah. Like, that's so weird, man.
That's hilarious. Yeah, I don't know, man. Like, it was a game. They've been flying though lately. I mean, they probably had a night off.
Yeah, well, both teams have been playing pretty good. So,
yes.
Another guy that I'd like to bring up for the Anaheim is that Josh Mahora playing like 22 minutes almost.
Is he
that's
actually?
Cool to see. This
Oh.
game he did.
Nice.
Like, it's pretty impressive for the young chap. I know he struggles to get time, and
yeah,
I know that Benoit's been pretty good too. So, just sweet to see. And the other guy, that Sam Steele's been playing quite a bit. Hey, like the last, like not on the ice, not getting a lot of time on ice, but he has been in the lineup making some impact.
He's he's actually in the lineup more consistent, which I mean we expected this time too. He's having a lot better season than I.
Yeah. There was a Hronik like kicking. That was kind of funny. It was kind of cheesy. Like, he was skating across the slot, and he, like, I don't know. It seemed like he knew exactly what was going on, and he was just gonna like put his skate there and do a cross cut.
Yeah.
Make it seem like he didn't mean to kick it at all, which, I don't know, it seemed like there was some pretty good intent towards it. So I was sad that it was called back, but in all reality, it made sense. Rack him up, gets the old goal, the one goal for
Raquel.
The Ducks there.
Richard Rackle.
yeah. The only other thing is I just love watching Seider just being nasty out there. God, he makes just subtle
he's such a good skater. He's so fun to watch.
Yeah, he's really good.
Man. Just dangling people and stuff. Like, you're a D-man, dude. What are you doing? It's
like, well, I gotta do everything. Might as well.
Yeah. Well, I can't pass it to my D-man most of the time. So.
can't pass to Danny because he's still in our zone.
Yeah. I'll end off with just please stop and keep not playing De Kaiser. I think it's helping. I honestly do.
I think so. Probably helping a lot. But no, that's good. Is that all you got for your in-depth game?
Indeed. Yeah, no, that's good enough. That's all I got for the old Wings and Ducks.
Cool.
Love watching the old Calder race.
Yeah, the Calder race and Wings
get everybody
fans,
all
just everyone freaking
on Twitter.
Yeah, make everyone freak out on Twitter, which is just the best. But should we dive into our under 24 team segment?
Yeah, sure.
Cool.
We could do that.
I think we should probably start with Chase because you got the most info, obviously, and yours will be way different to ours because you didn't pick anyone from the previous All-Star teams you made, correct?
Indeed, yeah. So I kept all the rookies.
Just to kind of jump in for half a second. I didn't do the same as mine as well, but because Jordan and I only did starting roster, I may have guys from your team, so keep that in mind. I don't know your team, so all your full teams. So go ahead.
Like you said, have some guys named on all-star teams already, so I couldn't pick them. But it actually kind of made me happy that I went with like guys like Thomas Chabot and such like that, because I'm gonna start her off with the Ottawa line. Nice. Brady Tkachuk, Josh Norris, and Drake Batherson.
Absolutely.
You cannot put I'll squeeze it out. Like, this is my top line, guys. I'm putting that as my starting lineup because that's how good these guys have been on a team that's just horrendous. They're the shining light. Yep. Like, they are so important for this team. I know it's kind of weird to say that I'm putting them as my starting lineup because some of the next guys I'll be bringing up. But yeah, they're just way too good. Let me just pull up some stats here, boys. I'll bring up the other line as I do that I have, because I have two straight up lines. Nice. Let's go to the Devils. Jack Hughes, Nico Hischier, and Jesper Bratt. I have them
Yep.
as another
I
line.
agree.
So basically, this 23 and under team, we've got just the Ottawa Senators, the New Jersey Devils, and that's half the team.
Yeah,
right there.
no, for sure.
Pretty cool. A couple St. Louis Blues with Robert Thomas, Jordan Kyrou. I got Jason Robertson, old point per game sort of guy there. Clayton Keller, he's still that young. And Pierre-Luc Dubois being in there. Obviously, he's been pretty decent, not exceptional. Honestly, I probably could have snuffed him for a couple other guys. But my last forward that I threw in here was the Bagel, Brandon Hagel. Thought he deserved the old nod for being so unreal. But the guys I left out is probably the thing that I want to bring up most. Like, I don't have Patrick Laine I could have put on this team.
Yeah.
Elias Pettersson, Martin Nakis, and Nick Suzuki. And the only reason I really took Laine off was because of how the Bagel's doing and the fact that he played a few less games and stuff like that. Basically, Pettersson's been a little underwhelming. Looks like he's been getting back at it. Same with Nikis, a little underwhelming. Slowly, looks like he's getting back at it, but you who you push it out? Keller, Kyrou, Bratt.
Right.
No.
No, I know what you mean.
And honestly, what Brandon Hagel's done on that team, there's Alex DeBrincat, and then there's Brandon Hagel for that team. Is basically how it's been for their forward group. But yeah, that's my forward group. Like you guys know, I've brought up this Batherson's getting a point per game. Josh Norris is right there with them. Same with Kachuk.
Oh yeah, you don't worry. I'm really not far off of what you got.
Yeah.
Actually, I think it's exactly.
Nico Hischier, like you brought up earlier, this guy's a beast. He's got great face-off percentage and
defensive percentage is fantastic. It's all in the 80 percentage and up for all defensive stats, and which is great. His scoring stats are in the 50s and 60s, but that's why people think he's not good, because of those stats are higher.
Yeah, and he will never be that type. He's not going to get you 1,000 points. He might do it 1 year or two or something like that when they have a good year with somebody.
He'll be Sean Couturier type, but hopefully healthy. He's not.
Yeah, no doubt. That's the one thing that's been a little sketchy is his injury capabilities. But yeah, he's rolling a 54.7 face-off percentage. The old Nico Hischier.
Really good for a 23, 24-year-old.
Yeah.
23.
No doubt. Yeah, so Jason Robertson, I'll bring his stats up because they're ridiculous. 41 points in 35 games this year, plus 16.
17 goals.
17 goals. But not as many as Josh Norris. Josh Norris has 18 goals.
Nice.
No assists, but
18
goals.
Yep, that's insane, man.
50% face-off percentage. So when he's playing center, that's pretty good for him. He's also playing close to 19 minutes, which is pretty sweet. But yeah, Nekis kind of reason I took him out. Only 16 and a half minutes this year, 22 points in 38 games. Yeah, it looks cool that you have a +5, but you're on Carolina, so I would hope you're in positives in a sense.
Yeah, you should probably be a plus.
Yeah, but who else do I want to bring up quick on this forward group? Another couple mentions for guys that aren't in, Jesse Puljujarvi, Tim Stützle, dude. Just not good enough starts to the seasons, I guess. Puljujarvi, maybe you could give him a little bit, but another guy I got my eyes on is Cousins and Thompson, Texier, Kotkaniemi. Old Farabee, this under 20, this 23 and under. I did not think I'd get that many.
It's so players. Many guys, and like you mentioned earlier, with that we didn't even put, or you didn't even put a line or PD in. Those are two guys who can be some of the best scorers in our league.
Yeah, and just to name a couple of the guys that are already on all-star teams that are eligible technically for this team. Austin Matthews, Adam Fox, Matthew Tkachuk, Alex DeBrincat, Charlie McAvoy, Cale Makar. Like all these guys are already all-stars. So Miro Heiskanen, like it's pretty crazy how star-studded you can be being 23 years old. But let's get to the D, I guess. Yeah, I think I am going with it. My starting lineup for the defense is Evan Bouchard. I have him as my number one.
Nice. I love that. I was so close, but I didn't because, well, I have less names than you from the last ones. That's the only reason why.
He's gotten great stats, that guy. I have Sammy Girard with him because apparently Sammy Girard is still a 2016 draft guy. Just that's so cool. To be who he is already as a 23-year-old on defense. That's so cool. That is actually so cool. The other couple D-men I got here, Michael Sergachev. Can't really miss him. Then Noah Dobson. Dobson's been.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of decent ones. A lot of guys that haven't necessarily proved quite yet, shown glimpses, but
yeah, looking pretty good
names
this year with some injuries and stuff like that. Dobson definitely had to step up. Philip Hronek, Mario Ferraro, round out my top 6 there.
Yeah.
Which I was pretty surprised because I always keep forgetting that Hronek's that young. It's amazing we've been playing him for this much for like 3 years or something like that. And he's not even 24 yet. I think he is 24 now because he's got a December.
Yeah, I think he just turned
like that. Mm-hmm.
Pretty much.
But just to bring up the other guys that are not in the lineup that are just wow. Ryan Lindgren playing with Fox. Dante Fabro, Yoki Haru, Dylan Coughlin, Jake Bean. Jake Bean plays like 20 minutes, man.
Yeah, he's been playing really good in Columbus, actually.
Nick Hague, another one. And I thought I'd mention Keandre Miller because there's a reason this Rangers team is there's a reason this Rangers team is that good. Just man, those young D-men getting it done.
I'm a little worried about their defense and like their decisions they're gonna have to make. Like if I'm a Rangers fan, I'm a little nervous because they got too many defense prospects.
Yeah,
really good,
it could go
where
wrong,
they might give away the best one available that isn't Adam Fox. Like, like how crazy would that be if you just like were like we could have a right side of like Fox and like this guy and then or whatever, and you could trade him away because
exactly.
That would be bad.
Yeah, I'd be worried if Braden Schneider is traded and ends up being so great or something like that.
Or Nils Lundqvist, or Keandre Miller, or Matthew Robertson, or all of these deep runs, Zach Jones. Like, I just listed 5, and half are in the team right now.
Yeah, exactly. But I'll kick you with my goaltending, as this was actually pretty simple, as it kind of just fell onto my lap because there's obviously not very many goalies that are 23 and under and not a rookie.
No, definitely not.
So there is like literally only 2, and those 2 are Mr. Carter Hart and Jake Ottinger.
Yep. Which, funny enough, you brought it up. Won't we all bring up our goalies? Because, funny enough, I put one guy's name and said the other guy was so close to being picked. I picked Carter Hart, though. Like I said earlier, talking about Philly, with what he's done for how bad Philly's been, I've been just so impressed. What do you got for us, Jordan? What's your goalie?
Yeah, no, it's Carter Hart as well.
Yeah. Who do you guys are starter then, Chase? You said you got the 2.
Yeah, I got Hart. Hart's as well. Definitely my starter.
Ottinger was, I do want to say, since none of us picked Ottinger, I was so close to picking Ottinger. I really, really was. Honestly, give me like another couple weeks of Ottinger playing good hockey, and I probably would have picked him. But
yeah, certainly deserves a nod at least.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
he's honestly past couple games has just been the reason I was like, maybe we should pump the brakes for half a second here.
Yeah, the old Ottinger. what's his name? Holtby got hurt there, so we should see maybe Ottinger a little bit more. Depending on how bad that injury actually is.
Yeah, he'll play. He'll play a lot. He's already played about 15 to 20 games, so
yeah, no
pretty
doubt,
decent for a young backup.
Yeah, but yeah, Carter Hart all by himself on an island, so he definitely gets the nod because he's been carrying the weight.
And I have his stats here too, by the way. Carter, do I? Where in the hell is? Okay, I'll have to find Carter Hart here. I was on the wrong one, but I had he has really good stats this season, considering, like I keep mentioning, how bad Philly is. Like, he's got like a 913 save percentage or something right now. Just
I'll bring up somebody.
I got it right here. Sorry, 915 save percentage and a 2.8 goals against on a team where he's got is 9-14. Like, that's so impressive for such a bad losing record, and it just shows that's the team. So. Sorry to go so long on Carter Hart, but
no, man, he deserves it.
He does deserve it for how much shit he got last year too, and how much shit he got last year. Like, I mean, I was not that I was the best either commenting on it, but yeah.
There is one guy that I want to bring up a little bit more on the defense here. Is my last last D-man that I put in is Mario Ferraro on San Jose. So kind of the same sort of situation with like Jacob Middleton on our rookie team, kind of slowly, surely, not knowingly just getting it done for the San Jose team. Mario Ferraro plays 23 and a half minutes a game.
Don't worry, I've been noticing him.
He's a +1.
Is that defense right now?
Yeah. No, he's been just exceptional
for 2 years. Actually, he kind of. Last year was pretty good too.
Yeah. No, I know we've talked about him before, but I thought I'd bring up a couple of his stats because that's like, wow, way to go.
Yeah, he's dope. I love him. Absolutely. Well, should Jordan and I dive into our defense then and kind of go from there? And well, it's obviously gonna be different because you listed two names there already on your All-Star game for me, so that's where it kind of goes wrong. But I got Quinn Hughes and Miro Heiskanen. Like I said, didn't pick them on my All-Star lineups technically, so I didn't pick them. They're the best. Shabbat's obviously in the mix. Sam Gerard. There's lots of names, but not going to go too long on this.
When it comes to under 23 and under, that's pretty crazy.
And I already had Fox and Makar on my All-Star team, so I couldn't pick either of them. So,
yes.
What do you got for us, Jordan?
I went with a bit more recency bias on my right hand, but on the left it's the same. I got Quinn Hughes. But on the right, I've given it to Evan Bouchard.
Yeah, no, I agree with that.
I've been really impressed with him this season.
So have I. Yep.
He's been playing 21 and a half minutes, a +5. He's got 24 points in 41 games.
He's
almost 10 goals
season, right? So
yeah, he's been getting a point every game for the past pretty much 10 games. Like, if not every game, every second game at least.
Dude,
like, he's been so good this past week.
Yeah, I've been a huge fan of him. He's one of my favorite Oilers.
He's 5th in scoring on this team.
Yeah, says it all. Honestly, I may even almost want to put him over Miro Heiskanen. It's just that Heiskanen's more rounded out. That's the only reason. Honestly, now that I look at it, like, I almost wonder if I should have put him in over Faravari on my rookie team. Bouchard, the way he's playing and continuing, I would almost go two right-handed guys instead.
Yeah, I was just thinking, is he a rookie? Like, why?
He is a rookie.
I don't remember.
He played a little bit last year, I think, but I don't think he
doesn't show he's a rookie.
Doesn't show he's a rookie. So did he play 20
not
games
on
already?
and not to NHL apparently, not to the NHL stats.
That's interesting. I don't know why he wouldn't be unless he's already.
I was gonna say, it was like he should have been on my rookie team if that's the case, but it doesn't show him showing up as a rookie.
He's played 21 games in the NHL in total, I think.
So that must be like one game over.
Something like, I guess that my I didn't think it was. I thought it was 25 games because how is how is Bunting available for it? And stuff?
Yeah, no doubt. No, that's
so
weird.
I don't know.
They don't show Bouchard as.
I don't know why he's not eligible for. He should be. Maybe they just messed up. They had to have because he's a rookie this year. He played overseas. Is that cancel. No, I wouldn't cancel. I don't know. That's weird. That's stupid. Whatever. We call him a rookie here. He's a rookie on the Couch on Ice podcast. Okay, let's say it here.
Doesn't matter. He's a 23 and under All-Star, I guess.
Doesn't matter. He is the Oilers' best hope on that right side.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe it's because he's played at least a certain amount of 7 games over 2 years. Like he played.
Maybe it was strange, 2 years ago.
Doubt.
Since he played a couple years, took a break and then played some.
Yeah, he played 7 games his first year, and then he played 14.
Yeah,
he didn't even play the next year, and then he played 14 last year.
I wonder if there's some weird rule with that, but I don't understand it. He's a rookie. To me, he's a rookie.
Basically.
Stay in it. Should we jump into our forwards now then? Since we kind of got our defense all rounded. Cool. Jordan, why don't you kick us off? What do you got for your forwards?
So, on the left, I've got Jason Robertson.
As do I.
On the right, I've got Brady Tkachuk.
Okay.
And down the middle, I have Hischier.
Yeah.
Nice.
I wanted to pick Hischier. I changed it a little bit last minute because I tried not to pick too many guys from the same team. I have one of the same team, obviously, Jason Robertson. I got Josh Norris. And I went Jesper Bratt because have you guys seen his stats this year? I know.
Yeah, I was really tempted.
Wow, how amazing this guy's been. He's 23. I always forget how young Jesper Bratt is. I'm always he's 24, 25. But no, he's so young. 14 goals, 27 assists. He's 1 point away from being a point a game player for them. That's just so good. One of the best skaters.
Can't say enough. I've been trying to bring him up as much as possible. I think from what I remember, one podcast, I think it was he was a plus player. Yeah, he was a plus player since the last All-Star break.
Yeah, that's insane. That's so impressive.
The only one on this team that was a plus player.
Yeah, that's
since
insane.
The last All-Star break.
That's awesome. He's so good.
Yeah, no, he's been epic. Yeah, when I said my starting lineup is just the Ottawa line, it was just basically because I wanted to nod those guys, and then I nodded the Devils line, but exactly, it's probably a Robertson, maybe throw a Kyrou or a Keller in there.
Kyrou was the name I was looking at too.
Yeah. I had Kyrou in my other team, so that's the only reason I didn't pick Kyrou.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I'm happy I didn't put him on that team now because I can throw him on this one.
Yeah, fair enough, eh?
But yeah.
And then obviously,
technically, I'd probably take Hischier over Norris, honestly. But
yeah, I thought about that. But then you brought up the 18 goals. You brought up the 18 goals, and this is his second year, and on a very young Ottawa forward, I was like, I can't not have one. And I'd rather Bratt over Hischier, so I picked Ottawa center rather than Batherson or Tkachuk. But like we said, it's those top lines. Those top 2 lines on both those Eastern teams make up half this team. They're good teams.
Yeah, so I think next time we do this, we're going to have to cut her 1 year less because apparently half the league are 23 years old here.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
No kidding.
Actually under that.
Yeah. The league's just getting younger, right? It's a different time.
Yeah, when I was making this roster, dude, I just went through every team and just found guys that were young that I thought would be somewhat eligible for this.
Right.
And I picked 40 forwards and 20 some D-man, and I'm definitely gonna have to cut this down.
So many names. I read your short list. I read your short list, and I'm like, holy fuck, those are all guys I might start.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, what the hell is Nick Suzuki and Pedersen and Line doing on this team? Martin Nakis, especially after what Nakis did last year.
I know, we were raving about him all summer.
Yeah, I know. I talked about him being the best, and he's just not the best this year. But he does look like he's getting back to it, honestly.
I think he will.
But the other thing that blew me away is looking at that 16 draft and noticing that Austin Matthews is technically eligible for this team. Get the hell out of here, man. But
it's insane. So many good young players that were mentioned. Everyone's
the league
the best. Anyways, let's move forward. I got some other All-Star news. I want us to kind of talk about the 2 new competition skill comps in this year's All-Star game, and kind of want you to hear what you guys think of it, and then we'll discuss these two. So first off, we have the Fountain Face-Off, the Discover Fountain Face-Off Challenge. This is going to be in the middle of the fountains of Bellagio. 8 participants will travel by boat to a rink, in quotations, in the fountain. They must successfully shoot pucks as quickly as possible into 5 targets placed in the water, fighting through the spray of nearby fountains, qualifying players to move to the head-to-head final. So basically, it looks similar to what the what was it last year at St. Louis? Where they shot from the rafters or whatever into the targets. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't remember what the hell it was called. Seems similar to that. So if you go to the ESPN website or NHL, whatever, you can see a picture of what it kind of looks like. It just looks like a rink, literally, in the Bellagio fountain, like they said. What do you guys think of this new segment? This new event?
I think it sounds cool.
Sounds interesting. Yeah. I'm a little worried that it's going to be too much like the St. Louis one, because that one was kind of bad. Because it was just people shooting random pucks and missing a lot. So I really don't want to see Connor McDavid go out to this, get 5 targets and miss all of them, right? I want it to be achievable. It's my biggest thing. I'll go with this, but
I'm excited for this. It sounds like they're going to be trying to do things and trying to make this a little bit extra fun. And the fact that it's in Vegas, I think we should be okay.
Yeah, I think it'll be better. I think it'll be better, but I'm still a little cautious about that specific event. Might be a little boring.
Yeah. I was getting confused when I first heard some of the things, and it's face off, and I was like, are they doing
that's what I thought. I was like, is Bergeron coming to the All-Star game to win this face-off event? That's amazing. That's what I first thought, but no. It's just facing off against each other.
Yeah.
And then I got the second one here too, as there's the second segment is NHL 21 and 22 Skills Challenge. There will be a full deck of oversized playing cards on a rack, and essentially it's hockey as blackjack. So,
yeah,
you're just shooting targets, but the targets are cards, and you gotta get 21. Fewest cards wins, and the last 2 players who win, the first and second place, go to the final round to determine who is puck shark of the NHL. So what do you guys think of the gambling aspect in blackjack?
I think it's super cool. I actually really like it.
I like this one a lot more. Yeah.
Me too. And I definitely think Evander Kane is hitting his desk, wishing that he could be there, wishing he played all season.
He's like, I gamble all the time. I'm totally a shark.
Gosh, damn, I would have killed this one.
Oh, it's so funny. Yeah, no, it looks interesting for sure. Like I said, we don't know how these will do until we actually see them at the All-Star game. I have high hopes. I hope everything's fun, but that's all I got. What do you guys think about this All-Star game? Anything you guys want to add before we move off into some news?
I think it'll be fun. Like I said, I think it'll be pretty good.
Cool.
I think they might have. Well, that blackjack one there probably was a good idea, because I'm sure they can get a whole bunch of people to do it before, or unless this is just literally for the All-Star event.
But theme, right?
Yeah, hey, you can get probably people to play this game All-Star weekend and stuff like that. So
right. Yeah, exactly.
Kind of a cool thing. Unless it's literally only going to be for the NHL guys, but
it might be. You never know. They might do a mini one set up somewhere else, would be kind of cool, but for the fans just to do.
Yeah, because this is definitely going to be sweet for being a fan there.
Yeah, it will be.
We'll make sure it's pretty awesome. MGK's going to.
I was just about to add that MGK's to headline the All-Star game. I love Machine Gun Kelly, so
that's kind of rattling to me. I never thought it would have been.
Yeah, but that's an interesting choice. Cool. That's for sure. But probably just because he proposed to what's her name. And so he's relevant in the news. But no,
Oh, yeah.
Megan Fox.
No, Dre and Eminem weren't there. Hey,
yeah, that's
going to the
Super Bowl
outside.
instead.
He's in the works of a new album, so I wouldn't be surprised if he's doing this as promo.
No, absolutely. I'm just poking fun at the fact that he was with Megan Fox for like 6 weeks and then proposed, seemingly. It was more than that, but I'm over exaggerating.
Together, so who knows?
No, I know. Just poking fun. Anyways, that's all I got for All-Star Game. I'm gonna move into some news around the league. Just piggyback if you guys feel like I do not have a whole lot. There hasn't been much going on in the past 2 days. So let's start in Toronto. Forgot to bring this up when I brought up the New Jersey game. Toronto is the only team in the NHL to not yet concede a shorthanded goal this season.
Who was that? Sorry,
Toronto. Toronto is the only team to not concede shorthanded goals so far this year, which I thought was kind of cool. So, and Minnesota only has one as well. It's another team I saw. Minnesota has one, and who else has one? Calgary. So those are the top 3 teams, the least shorthanded goals.
Speaking of Minnesota, they signed Jordan Greenway to an extension.
Perfect segues. Yeah, they signed Jordan Greenway to a 3-year, $9 million extension. That is a $3 million AAV.
An absolute fucking steal.
I love the contract. Yeah. That's such a good short-term deal. Doesn't this perfectly blend well with when their buyouts are done? Isn't that timeline perfect?
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure it's 3 years.
It
might be 4.
Might be 1 extra year.
But
there might be 1 extra year, but
still, to get most of it under, that's a great contract. Greenway's had some really good chemistry with Foligno this year or last year as well.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Actually,
that like, you know what, after this contract, continue to play this way and we'll pay you good, right?
Yeah.
Like when we have the money.
He's a young, powerful.
Yeah, my bad. That does end. That does end when
there?
all their contracts or their buyouts are.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I
was thinking last year when we were talking
about
it quite a bit, and now that we're actually on the first year of their $4.7 million is against their cap. So that's 100% perfect.
That's awesome. So I love Jordan Greenway. Like we said, power forward, really good power forward in the making. Hopefully, can continue to make out that top 6.
Yep.
Moving on to, I just got a couple trade news, not much else, but Arizona are willing to take on contracts, but then again, couldn't really take any less on saying that, but hopefully they can actually utilize their cap space.
Yeah, do you guys want to do a Arizona GM mode like we kind of have been
like an armchair kind of?
Yeah.
Maybe we can
we can take a look at the deadline and see what we all kind of think they'll do out of this, because I was kind of screwing around with that. Obviously we got Chikrin trades coming up, and I always go all the way deep to see how it would work and stuff like that, and that got me all interested in how they can what's actually going to happen, because they're kind of in a tough spot. They have 2 retained salaries already, so they can only retain one salary. So
and it's Phil Kessel. It's Phil Kessel. They pretty much already announced
but it's not
that.
For me.
Interesting. Well, for them, I guarantee you it will be Phil Kessel this year. He's the one they want out first, so that's where my mind instantly goes. But yeah, we could definitely do an Arizona GM mode in like a week or 2 podcast. Like,
hell yeah.
So we'll keep an eye out for that. That might be a segment coming out later. So, but yeah, I just want to bring up the fact they're willing to take on salary, and obviously this is the way to go. They need to take on bad contracts and get some draft picks. Just keep doing that trend until you're.
They also need players for next year. They took on a bunch of 1-year contracts that probably won't be the same.
They'll probably do it again.
It's kind of hilarious.
They will probably do it again.
We need more players for next year.
Yeah, we literally. I know we don't have an arena to play in next year, but we technically need to roster 20 people. So,
caliber NHL at least.
Yeah, at least be competitive. So some trade news there. Move over to the Montreal Canadiens, and Hughes came out saying that Petrie is potentially for sale. he is willing to move on from Jeff Petrie. So I found that very interesting that
hell yeah,
they're so open to doing something like that with him.
Yeah, picked him up in fantasy because I wanted him on my team before they said that.
Yeah. Yeah, no kidding, hey? He's what do you guys think of
he needs to change.
Yeah,
he needs to change.
Definitely
he needs to get the hell out of there and play good hockey somewhere else, meaningful hockey. He clearly loves doing that. So
yeah, for sure. Can you guys think of a team? He is 34. He's got 3 years after this remaining on a $6.25 million contract.
Jeff Petrie for Johnny Klingberg.
I don't hate that.
That's an idea.
I genuinely do not hate that.
Yeah,
I think you need something else in there, but yeah, no.
Yeah, you'd have to weigh it out, but
if overall, Dallas wants Klingberg gone that bad, I think, yeah, why not?
Well, if they don't want to pay him,
yeah, and Montreal needs, yeah, true, and he also needs.
Maybe it's only 1 year. Can't remember.
Who, Klingberg?
No, Petrie. The Petrie dish dog.
His contract is 3 extra years after this.
Oh, buddy. Yeah,
6.25. Yeah.
I wonder if they would feel comfortable with that.
I'm not opposed to it.
7, but I feel like you could sign Klingberg to 6.25.
Yeah, you should be able to long term. If you can't, then maybe I don't hate it. It's a little bit of a, not necessarily a backward step for Dallas, just maybe a lateral.
Yeah, that's the thing. How do you get?
You don't really get better. Might get worse.
What's going on with the Klingberg situation, right?
I don't know.
They're probably better to just
that.
hold on to him because
probably.
Yeah. But with Petrie, man, there's right-handed D man. Hey,
that's exactly it. He's right-handed. It's a big contract, but he's been to a cup final. He's right-handed. He's played top minutes. He would be a fantastic second D.
Should send him to Toronto
on a real team. I was thinking Toronto too because they need a right-hand D man.
Give him Muzzin.
They don't have the money. I don't see that being an upgrade, actually. Petrie for Muzzin. I think
this sounds like an off-season deal. Hey,
this is off. I feel this is off-season if you want full value for Petrie.
Yeah, but you'll want the full value because you probably could make a move before the deadline. But yeah, you want to make sure everybody can be in on this trade and kind of boost the price up a little bit at least instead of just taking what somebody may offer you, because there's probably 1 or 2 or 3 teams that can make this deal, and you probably want more hands in the pie trying to grab at Petrie so you can.
Well, exactly. Look at Chychrun. They weren't even planning on moving him, but there's so many teams in the mix really willing to move a lot for him that Coyotes don't have a choice now. They kind of have to explore it, or else they're stupid.
I'd be stupid not to.
Exactly, right? It's just too good to be true. There's a lot of guys, but. Yeah, I don't know. You gotta find the right situation for Petrie. This is just sudden. I knew Montreal was gonna sell guys. Petrie was nowhere near my radar.
Oh yeah?
No, not really.
He's too old, man. He wants to get the hell out of there.
That's why he's not on my radar.
He might have a couple. He might only have a couple of good years left. So that's why you gotta try to see if he can at least utilize them and help somebody.
Yeah, but his contract's really expensive for a 34-year-old. And I didn't know how attractive that is. He has a no move. Didn't know if he wanted to really leave.
This is just Montreal saying we're willing to trade him.
I understand.
This is not them saying, we're guaranteeingly going to be able to trade this guy. People are going to be all over him. So
I get that. Exactly. I'm just he was the last name I expected out of them, except for Carey Price, right? And Nick Suzuki.
I expect Gallagher honestly to come up at some point. I know it's not.
And that's another name I expected before Petrie. I expected Gallagher trade rumors before Petrie again. I don't know. I just was a little shocked that that's the one guy they're looking at potentially moving.
I think they won't talk about Gallagher until a Petrie, now that that's come out, and then we'll hear another forward or two say, I do want to move on.
They'll probably move on from Toffoli
or it'll take those guys to move on, and then maybe next year or in the off season we're looking at Gallagher, or the year after, give me out of here or something.
Yeah, I know.
But
I don't know.
Big contracts here,
big
boys.
contracts.
Those are good guys to trade in all reality because
Yep.
they're a little bit older, long contracts. If you can make that move, but
that's the issue. Keyword if you can. If you can.
They're a tough situation with Montreal. Hey, like old Burger man really did not do well that off.
Didn't leave him. But what GM leaves their team in a good spot typically? Not many. It's usually a bad scenario why you're not there.
Yeah.
So, look at Pittsburgh, for example, when Rutherford left. Like, there was questions like, oh boy, Rutherford fucked this team up for Stahl coming in. If he didn't have Crosby Malkin, there'd be trouble. But,
they didn't do anything, and now they're like...
And now we're like the best team. Yeah. So, no, exactly. So
who knew that getting rid of McCann and Tanev was the answer?
Yeah.
To making your depth play consistent? Is that fair?
Last year it was amazing, so I will disagree with that based off of last year, because our depth last year is the best it's been since we won the cup.
Yeah, but I find when you guys don't do well, it's because your depth is just not really producing and doing all the things you need them to do. Like when you guys aren't so good, you just don't seem to have a full.
But that's the problem. Last year we were so good. We were first in the division, in the hardest division. We should have smoked the Islanders but Jari had a bad series. That's literally, it came down to Jari having a bad series, our playoffs last year. So.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So, I wouldn't say the depth is better.
But like, you guys haven't gone anywhere for like 5 years now. That's what I'm getting at, is that like you're just a little holy at times when it comes to like your depth. And I think Mike Sullivan may have fixed it because like I said, you're letting go 2 big pieces of your bottom depth, and then it hasn't hurt,
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
I think that's the progression you need.
There's also a name.
I think that gives you hope, right?
Yeah,
now.
you also
have to actually win a cup, because like, let's be serious, you guys are trying to win a cup, not be a good team.
No, we're trying to win, absolutely. And a big name that like you're asking, like, well, how did your depth get so much better? Well, one name, Brock McGinn, instantly makes us so good. Same with Tanev, like he was that replacement, fit like a glove. That's the difference of it.
For sure, man. And I love old Mackie.
Yeah. I love both guys. Good. They're both absolutely brilliant. But yeah, anyway, sorry, Penguins tangent. I got one more news in the NHL and then one Olympic thing quickly. Colorado news. Kadri is seemingly set to hit the open market, is what everyone is predicting. I just found this interesting because I understand why people are talking about it, because it's going to happen this summer. Like, it's reality. Like, there's a chance he hits.
True reality, but
no, the opportunity that he's a free agent this year. Yes, that's reality. So all I'm trying to say, not that he's gonna leave. That you have to worry about a contract for next year. Yes, you do. I don't know why people are so persistent that he's leaving. Like, I understand I understand like why it's gonna be difficult. He's gonna want a lot more money than that Colorado has. We've seen people take discounts to stay on a good team, lots of times.
Yeah. And honestly,
lots.
If you guys don't sign Burakovsky, like, you have lots of money to do.
Yeah, they do. Like, they will have $10 million to spend with Kadri and Burakovsky's money off. So if one of them doesn't sign, it's $10 million for one player.
Yeah, like, it's kind of a shitty to lose Burakovsky.
It will be. If you could keep both, that'd be amazing, obviously. But I just want to know what you guys think about Kadri leaving. Like, obviously, Chase, sounds like you don't think he's...
I don't like it. I don't see why he would.
I don't either.
Weird thing. Like, he was like the heart and soul. He seemed like he wanted to be a Leaf forever and shit like that. Like, he doesn't seem like one of those guys.
He doesn't like moving on.
I'll take the big paycheck. Like, he definitely wants to win a cup, like 100%.
Yeah.
So
for sure. And the reasoning, another reason I brought us up, there's a couple teams that were thrown out there, and the biggest one that has been thrown around, where, don't get me wrong, I'm gonna shut it down right away because it's Pittsburgh. It's not happening. I love Kadri. I think he's having a great year. Pittsburgh's not getting him unless Malkin leaves.
Yeah, dude, I'm hearing a lot of stuff about the Flyers.
The Flyers money really to all want these
guys
too.
That are, like Goudreau and all these guys that are UFAs. Yes. It's like, go ahead and start the trend of come to our team, we'll overpay you and ruin the rest of your career and our team. Like, the Flyers, Jesus Christ, they're just going to be that team. Like, don't be that team. It never
No.
works, guys. It
Now-
never is going to work.
Now, saying that with Kadri, I don't hate that. Kadri as a Flyer, I think, makes them better. A lot better.
Not at $10 million.
No, not quite at 10, but if it's 8.
That's what they're going to do. Like, that's what I'm getting at. Is that
it's
they're
8
ready
to
and
9?
willing to overpay and make sure they get somebody. So if that's what they want to turn the no. I think it's just so dumb from Flyers aspect to go out and just give all of King Midas's gold just so then you can have your one star player.
No, what I will say, because they're probably going to do it, if they're going to do it for someone, they better do it for Kadri is where I'm going then. If they're going to waste their money, I would rather it be on Kadri than any other UFA, unless it's a top D-man, obviously.
I'd probably actually almost go Gaudreau, maybe, but
I would go Kadri because when he's not scoring, he's still a very, very effective hockey player. Very effective. He throws hits. He's a playoff player. He's nasty. He's the Flyers' past identity as well. That's a reason why a lot of people have been connecting this. But I don't hate it, but I think Kadri should stay in Avalanche if he can. If he wants to win a cup, take $1 million or $2 million off your paycheck a year, sign a long-term deal cheap with Colorado. I think that's your best option.
Yeah, exactly. Like, he's almost 30, so like you can probably give him like a $7 million 8-year contract. Like, I don't see why he would say no to that.
Well, I was just about to say, would he sign a 6.5 for 8 years? I know that seems like a little
something around.
Like
I'd say 7. I just said 7. So
exactly.
I think he'd do that somewhere.
So
around there.
why not? I think that's what you offer him. I know I understand he's 31 right now, and 8 years takes him to 39, 40. But if you do really want to keep him, try and win these next 5 years, then don't hate it.
So, who are you replacing him with?
That's the other question after fact. Like, you don't have a second line center behind Kadri.
Yeah, like I'm hearing they really want Giroux, but like
I don't see that as a long-term solution.
Do you trade Giroux for Burakovsky and then you can sign Giroux and some other guy, and then you don't have to give Kadri too much money? Like, it's kind of sketchy, man.
Man, you saying that Burakovsky for Giroux in a way?
Giroux does need to get on this team. It'd be so awesome. It's Colorado or Boston. Like, Giroux needs to play with one of those teams. I want to see it. It'd be so much fun. They need him so bad.
Yes, they do. Yeah, I don't know.
Left-handed players on this team.
It's gonna be tough. It's gonna be so tough. Tough times for Colorado. Lots of money to deal with.
Kadri stirring the pot. 31, actually. He should take 6.5.
Yep, for 8 years.
He's got to understand that, like,
6 years, $6 million for 8 years.
Year, but
honestly, I don't see why he wouldn't take even less than 6.5 for 8 years. You're being contract to your 40.
Yeah,
and like, even $5 million at 8 years is the stupidest amount of money.
Yeah, like, $40 million.
Yeah, like, I think you can afford that instead of the 50.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, technically, like, half of it's gone anyway. I don't know. I feel like if you really... Plus, he might even get less than that money-wise if he took a $7 million deal for, like, 4 years. Or $9 million for 4 years. Like, so...
Yeah. You
take the long term if you can.
And everybody don't think about Ken Holland contracts when we're talking here, because those are Ken Holland contracts. That's a 28, 9-year-old Zach Hyman for $5.5 million for 8 years. That's what Ken Holland does. Not what Joe Sakic's going to do.
Not exactly. We're not saying that's what he's going to do.
To give $8 million for 8 years.
No, he's not giving 8. Maybe 5 for 8. But yeah, I know. 6.
He literally didn't sign Grubauer over like $1 million.
Yeah,
he was like, "No, I'm not giving you that $1 million for.
I'm not giving you 6," and he got it in Seattle. So no. Just, but that's all I got for news around the league. One other little side note to throw out there is Eric Stahl was officially named captain of the Canadian Olympic team. Kind of thought this was going to happen, but just kind of...
Yep, been waiting on that.
Yeah, it's just official now, so super cool. But that's all we got for news and everything. We got one last segment. Should we jump into our final segment, boys?
Yeah.
Cool. I will... kick this off. Chase kind of already explained it earlier. We did more Chychrun trades. We did them with the top teams that want him. I remember both your guys' teams. I can't remember which one you guys did. I mixed them up. Which one of you guys did you do?
I got Boston. The Bruins.
Chase got the Bruins. What do you got for us, Jordan? What's your team that you're trading for Chychrun?
I am the Florida Panthers.
Nice. And I am the Columbus Blue Jackets because they're like a late add to the race. So glad to add them. But who would like
And that's because also, I think from what I remember reading, the Rangers did that, whatever.
Yeah, the Rangers.
Had that's no longer there from what I remember reading. Possibly, I don't know.
Yeah,
that's what I heard.
Here, the Rangers are slowly falling out of the race, which makes sense. I don't know why they would go all out for a Chychrun when they got we just brought up their 8D prospects that are going to be good. But anyways, who would like to kick it off with their Chychrun trade?
I don't know. You?
How about you want Jordan? Jordan, go for it.
All right. Get ready for a lot of words.
Okay.
So obviously Chychrun is the package. That is the only thing, in fact, that Florida will receive. Arizona will get Frank Vatrano, Owen Tippett, Grigory Denisenko, Gustav Forsling, a 2024 first-round pick, and a conditional 2023 third-round pick. The condition is the third turns into a first if Florida wins the cup while Chychrun plays at least on average 20 minutes a game.
Holy.
Wow.
A lot in there. Holy crap, Casey. You gotta say that again. Sorry.
Yeah. All right. So
Chychrun.
Frank Vatrano.
Frank Vatrano.
Owen Tippett. Grigory Denisenko. Gustav Forsling. A 2024 first and a conditional 2023 third that could turn into a first.
Chase, what do you think?
It's
a lot. That's a lot.
It's a lot for sure. Yeah, it's definitely a lot.
Maybe able to drop a prospect because Forsling's a real top 4 D man. I think.
Yeah, he's mostly there for the money.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's why exactly. That's why I think maybe you keep Denisenko or Tippett, wherever you'd rather keep.
Yeah, I wonder who else is there really anybody on that team that's a cap dump? Because not really. It's the Florida Panthers.
I like the cap dumps. Yeah, Vatrano makes a lot of sense. He makes the most sense out of all Panthers probably for cap.
Because I'm just thinking, obviously, I think Arizona's going to ask for Lundell or Knight. That's the two names that are going to be their first. And those are the two guys I'm saying no matter what, I am not trading these two guys. So this is what I feel like is the next best kind of
I think you're onto something, honestly, because
you're not far. Yeah.
What I got into thinking is kind of the same sort of thing you're thinking is one, they're gonna want something, and Arizona's gonna want a defenseman back.
Yeah.
They're gonna be I don't even care if you think that this is too much by giving me a defenseman to play in the NHL. That doesn't matter. I'm getting a player back. I can't just not play somebody because it's not that Zona wants to trade him. You want him, so I need somebody to replace him. And then you need to pay the 3 first-round picks or whatever the hell. And those Denisenko, Tippett, and at least not of this year's first-round pick. I think this works in a sense. I think that actually can make it happen because you have to force them to kind of do it. And you're not going to give them Knight, and you're not going to give them that other.
Yeah, I think you're right. So, I think you're right.
I think you have to.
The only other name that I was trying to avoid was Samoskevich or Skovich or whatever his name is.
Yeah.
Because I feel like I would rather get rid of Denisenko than I would him.
Fair enough. Yeah. Wow. I'm just trying to think. No, what's throwing me off the worst with this actually is the Forsling.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's a free player.
He's a free player.
That is what it is.
That's what's killing me right now. I don't.
The same thing. I did the same thing, man. I gave them a D-man for almost no reason.
I'm so struggling with
saying. Need it.
No, I love the trade in itself. It's the fact that I love Forsling. He is so good.
Yeah, I feel you.
He has been so amazing. It's so hard to trade him when how
Yeah,
old
you
is he?
could stick
25?
Maybe.
Yeah, the guy's got 21 points in 38 games this year.
Yeah,
so that's
man.
pretty fucking ridiculous.
Like that's I wonder if it's I don't know, like you're not far. You're right there. They would say
You
yes.
might not-
yes.
you
Like
might not have
Arizona
the
to me says
D-man.
yes.
You might not have the D-man to give them, you know?
What if you give him Marcus
maybe a
Nudavara?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I guess if Nudavara comes off LTIR,
I think he's probably better.
maybe you can
That's definitely a good shout.
Or Montour, either or.
maybe you offer Nudavara instead of Forsling and hope they accept.
Yeah, and then you offer Montour if they say no, and then at be all and end all costs, if you really want Chychrun, throw in Forsling. Like, but he's 25. That's my biggest thing, and he has 3-year deal at 2.6. That is the best contract. Like so good. Can't believe they claimed him off waivers.
I could definitely. I mean, obviously, Florida would prefer to keep him. So
big time.
I wouldn't be opposed to throwing in Nudavara and maybe some more picks.
And know what it makes it? If you keep Forsling, it makes it so you can let Weegar go in 2 years when his contract's up, if you can afford him, because you have Chychrun. So I don't hate that if you're able to. That's the only nitpicking I can say.
Yeah, no, the
Just
first round pick for 2024 is perfect because you're giving up just fire first round picks already in Tippett and like Denisenko.
Yep.
So I wouldn't be willing to give up this year's first round pick, honestly, if I was giving up all that.
I agree.
Even if it's
I figure the condition makes that more manageable, right? If you win the cup, your first isn't going to be as valuable. So
I'll put it this way: Vetrano, Denisenko, and Tippett definitely start the conversation. All you got to do is figure out what picks and
what do you need to add?
If they force you to get Forsling, or if they're okay with taking an extra pick, like you guys are saying, and taking Nudavara or something. So it's an interesting trade.
If you're wanting, there's. I wonder if even you don't need to. Is it too much to say you don't need the first if Forsling's in instead? Because I wonder if Forsling's
need the second pick. You wouldn't need the second pick.
I don't even know if you need the first round pick. Honestly, I would willingly trade Forsling. I'm thinking of it this way. If I'm Pittsburgh and I call Florida and they're like, "We will give you Forsling," what's the most you'll give up? And I'm saying I would give up a first for Forsling and that contract easily.
Yeah, that's fair.
So I think that's it. That's the only thing. He's the only one that's kind of like killing me with this trade. Other than that,
that's fair. I mean, it's a hard package, right?
It's hard.
It's worth so much.
Yeah, and Florida does not have the most cap space. Like, you did what you could. You gotta make room with what you got. So mine's a hell of a lot easier because my team has cap space to just bring on Chychrun without giving Arizona anything if they want. So
no dope.
Chase,
you go now.
You want me to go then? Cool.
Yeah, you just talked yourself.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, fair enough. I had the money, so I went similar route, but I went definitely more of the young side prospects, giving up for Chychrun. I got just Jacob Chychrun, and Columbus gives up Karil Marchenko, a second round pick. He's 6'3", he's a big power forward and can score goals. He looks pretty good. Alex Texier, Corson Kuhlmans, and a first round pick in 2023, top 10 protected.
Marchenko, Texier, Kuhlmans.
Yeah, and first round pick 2023, top 10 protected.
Not even this year's first round pick?
Nope. Not this year's.
I guess Columbus is pretty bad. Hey, can't really do that.
Columbus is pretty bad. I didn't feel comfortable giving up this year's pick and how deep the draft is. I'm even willing to drop lower, top 5, top 2 protected if that's really a big.
Yeah, I probably want it to be
I'll do top 5 protected then. That's what I had originally.
Yeah, I think top 5 makes it a lot better.
Okay, I'll go top 5, and then the reasoning why it doesn't sound like a lot, and I can understand where ooh, that doesn't sound like a lot. I'm gonna go individual players for a second here, and this Karil Marchenko, I am a huge fan of right now. I've been poking around. I'm looking. He's 6'3", right-handed, scores a lot of goals in Russia, or not a lot, but 15, 20 goals a year as a young kid. He's 21. I just love his NHL certainty is about 6 out of 10, which isn't pretty bad. I don't know. I look at this guy and I see a top 6 potential forward who can play with good players, win pucks in the battle at the corner. So I just really like him as an extra guy. Corson Kuhlman's people are talking about potentially being a third D-man right side. And we all know how valuable right-hand D-men are. That's a big portion of my trade.
Kuhlman's is solid.
Yeah, and then Texier is... They need offense, Arizona. And Texier is one of the most offensively creative players on Columbus. So that's kind of the direction I went. It's all got... Every single player is under the age of, I believe, 22. Also in this trade. Which is insane. To get 3 players and a first-round pick under 22. And are pretty unproven. Like, Kuhlman's is 18.
Yeah, he just got drafted.
Got drafted and like 25th overall or something for a D. I don't know. To me, I feel like that just
it's definitely like it's somewhat worthy. I don't know if I'm Arizona, if I'm accepting it. Just that's I guess like you can. Can,
well, but, it's also with how many teams are in pushing. I guess probably could have been more, but I was also looking at it where they were trying to get what Minnesota got for Brent Burns, a young forward, a prospect, and a pick. I gave up more than that.
Yeah.
So that's where my mind.
I guess really the only thing I'd probably ask for is I'd want an NHL defenseman.
Sure, take Kukin.
Like I don't think I'm making a trade like this without getting somebody back.
The only thing that was a hold up in my mind was that I feel like they're going to need to replace the hole he leaves.
Okay, then Gabriel Carlson or Dean Kukin, whoever you want. Take anyone who isn't named Gavrikov, Werenski, and Bean, and Boquist on my defense, and they're all yours.
Exactly.
Yeah, cool for me. If it's that small to change, I'm willing to negotiate on that easily.
Yeah, no, that's literally the only hiccup for my mind.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, Texier's dope. I hope he can. I hope he can turn into what he looks like he can turn into.
And that's exactly it too. Everyone has high end upside on this trade.
He definitely sketches me out a little bit when I look at this trade, just because. Yeah, I said,
it's
I
a
hope
big
he
player.
turns into what he looks like he might turn into. But getting like a Marchenko and a Kuhlman's, I think.
And a first, right.
Yeah, it's not bad. It's not bad. But
and the 2023. It's also
first, I'm also probably not going to be a playoff team next year.
That's exactly where I'm at. Like this pick will probably be around 10 to 16.
Yeah.
Give or take. Like it should be. As long as Columbus doesn't go on a big run or opposite suck, like that's where my mind instantly goes. It's a higher pick than Florida or Boston can ever give them. But
and with the recent draft and stuff like that, getting Kent Johnson and Cole Sillinger, like you're more or less set. You have Werenski. You can probably make a move like this. I understand now a lot more why Columbus is in on this Chychrun, because
they have the foundation for a team.
Yeah, I think they've done the baby steps right.
They have.
They can now actually take real steps forward, and
so absolutely. Realistically too, I could easily just throw in a conditional second, and I'd probably still do that.
Yeah. No, I think you can make that work. I think they would work around that. I think they would do that. Possibly, I guess.
And
who knows the reason
I put emphasis
is I'm not sure they'll accept a deal unless you give them like what Jordan said that night that.
Fair enough.
Cole Sillinger or whoever it may be.
I get that.
Maybe they want Boquist. I'm not doing it unless you give me what, So, we'll
see. In my mind goes Eichel didn't go for it.
Right?
Yeah, my mind goes Eichel didn't go for it, so I'm not giving you a top prospect.
And that's why this trade is probably not going to happen before the deadline because exactly that sort of reason. Hey,
it's gonna be you will not get an A+ prospect. You may get an A, and we'll probably get an A- level prospect, but you should not get an A+ for Chychrun unless a team doesn't want him anymore. Frankly,
this is probably just priming up Chychrun for an off-season trade, trying to see who will offer the most right now, and then they can kind of use that to
for sure
figure something out in the off season.
Yeah, exactly. What do you got for us, though? What do you got the Bees doing? Because I'm intrigued with you, because you're going to have to give up the Moon from Boston.
Yeah.
They don't really have a lot.
No, they don't. And I can't give up Studnicka, or else Boston fans would shoot me in the face or something. And also, they won't give up Studnicka, so that's another thing. I do have Jacob Chikrin, and I have another guy coming back, Johan Larsson. Coming back for the old playoff run. In all reality, I've kind of fought myself on this trade several times, but I think I'm deciding to go with the one that I have Johan Larsson in with it, because I got 5 pieces going back to Arizona. Starting off with the obvious Jake DeBrusk in every trade. But yeah, Jake DeBrusk, Mike Riley. I have Euro Vakanainen, Zach Senyenson, and this year's first round pick. So I'll break it down as basically Zach Senyenson, probably worth a third-ish round pick nowadays. He's more or less for Johan Larsson. I thought Arizona would win that trade in a sense, so that's why I've put Johan Larsson in here, because I don't think Senyenson for Johan Larsson is exactly a fair deal for Boston.
Really? I do not value Senyenson as an NHL player. I think he is a fourth, third liner at best anywhere he goes. So fair enough. I don't know. I've never been a fan of Senyenson.
I'll value Senyenson as like a third round pick, and I think Larsson, I don't know if you're giving up a full third round pick for the full contract of Johan Larsson. Either way, it's somewhere around there. It doesn't really matter. I just felt like Zona could use a little bit more, but yeah, the main trade is DeBrusk, Riley, Mike Riley, the D-man, and Euro Vakanainen. Now, we kind of talked up Euro Vakanainen a little bit. He's been pretty good. He looks like he'll be a top 4 D-man. He can at least help replace Chikrin right now. Same with Mike Riley. The reason I'm taking on a whole bunch of random guys is the direction that I can take this with Arizona. Because now I have Jake DeBrusk, who's going to play with like Keller, my best players, and probably produce and do quite well. And I can use him for a trade chip in the future. I now have Mike Riley at $3 million for the next like several years, a couple years, I believe it is, where he can be a deadline sort of guy at the end of his contract, where I can snag something decent out of him.
You honestly might be able to trade him before. He's good enough. He's worth that $3 million contract. Like, that wasn't an unfair contract.
Yeah, exactly. So the point of this trade was to, I didn't get any high top end prospects exactly, other than maybe your Euro Vakanainen and Jake DeBrusk. But you do get the 2022 first round pick, which, let's kind of be serious about Boston. Even if they made a move like this and went out and got a Giroux or something, like they might win the first round.
They shouldn't win second round.
Like, they're not going to probably go deep the first year, but
so it'll be like a low 20, high teen, maybe.
Yeah, like a 16 to 20 pick probably, but
16,
who knows?
22.
Who knows where it'll end up? But yeah, no, you got DeBrusk and Riley as trade chips in the future. Euro Vakanainen is somebody you can build around. Zach Senyenson, you're going to need players to play. You can actually give him the chance to play and find out what you can get out of him, probably get the best out of him. And yeah, like I said, you get that first round pick as well, so a little bit extra. Like, it's not very, very much. But
in the last draft,
Gunther.
Yeah, okay. I thought it was Dylan Gunther, because I couldn't remember if it was a forward or a D man. Because I like having that D man there.
The OEL trade.
Yeah. No, I definitely like it, because I like having that. You know, you have Gunther for your future, and then now you also have a defensive prospect you can really set your eyes on.
Yeah, I don't mind it. If I'm looking, this is the problem with Boston. This isn't even your fault. Like, they just don't have enough, frankly.
Yeah.
I look at every other team, I'm like, well, why wouldn't I accept Florida's? Why wouldn't I accept Columbus's when you're saying your thought is, which is a good thought. Like, it's definitely a good thought if you're Boston mindset. Like, we'll give you these players. They're young now. They're younger, but they're playing now. and you can trade them for more later.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm Arizona, I say, why don't I just go to Florida and get a better D-man now, and prospects are better now? Right?
Yeah, exactly.
That's the problem with Boston, though. It's not your fault in making the trade.
Exactly.
They have nothing.
Whoever can pay the most is going to win this sweepstakes.
Yeah, like this is the issue. Like I was just comparing the trade of players,
and I understand that, and that's why
it's so hard to do.
In my trade, as Arizona, I'm looking at it as the long game, the future game, because like you can already
increase.
Yeah, exactly. Like you already have enough picks and crap like that to get everything started, you know. And adding another first round pick, like actually what I did was like you could just you now have 3 other first round picks that you can trade up for and get maybe one of these. The top 10 in this draft are supposed to be pretty damn good, so maybe you can snag 2 of these guys that are just so awesome and really change your team around quite quickly. And like I said with Riley and DeBrusk, like you can package these guys or get pretty good value, I would think, out of them, and they help your team right now. I think you're getting positive things out of Zach Senyenson, DeBrusk, and Riley. I don't think their value would fall down on this team. So that's kind of where I went with that. It's definitely, like you guys are saying, like these guys don't technically have enough, but if Arizona wants to play the long game, I think this isn't really a terrible idea. I think I
could definitely agree with that.
I think you can maximize this because in all reality, maybe you can retain DeBrusk or something like that for a playoff team, or Riley, retain him for a playoff team, and you're getting another first round pick. But that's in like a year or 2 or whatever. So you already have several first round picks. And I just think they do need players to play, even though they're not great and they don't want to be great, but you still need to field a team, and you can use these guys to create a better team or package these guys for, say, a JT Miller or whatever.
Yeah,
really want.
Here's what I will say. Like, the idea of that is a great concept for a trade because it makes a lot of sense, and it does. And I don't know why other teams don't think of it in a way like that too. Now, on the flip side, as I just compliment how you make the trade, Arizona is the last team in the world. If I'm the GM of that team, it's the last team in the NHL I would ever be willing to take on an NHL player now to try and make them better for more value. Because we've seen how many players go through Arizona, even when they were decent, and not be good.
Unless they're a goaltender.
I have a big fear Jake DeBrusk will be worse in Arizona. Mike Riley will look like and it's not their fault. It's the Arizona effect. That's my only fear of it. It's Arizona. Put Chychrun on Montreal, the other worst team in the NHL. I make that trade as Montreal in a different way, because you can get more out of DeBrusk. You can out of Riley.
That's what needs to change here. You know, like they need to start getting positive things out of everyone. Their AHL team everywhere.
Yes.
Enough of this.
Now, let me throw a hypothetical at you. You give away your best player that you've arguably ever had and didn't get anything out of it. Think Arizona fans are going to stay after even that and what's going on? You need a win. This has to be a win of a trade for Arizona to be happy about it. Like, it has to be a slam dunk win is the issue with this trade and why it's it takes so long. There's no way unless teams are willing to lose this trade in the future.
Yeah, like for Zona to do this, it wouldn't make sense because somebody would offer probably some better prospects. But if Arizona wanted to make a deal with Boston, like this is really the only way that it can.
Unless you threw in a Lyshaw or a Stanika or
somebody you don't want to.
That you don't want to give up, but you'd have to. And honestly, I think about it and I wonder if you still have to with Boston just to be in the race, just because like one of those guys, because they're not even the high-end guys around the league prospect-wise. They are to Boston because they don't have prospects.
Yeah, like exactly.
That's
like,
my issue.
They just say I want Lysell instead of Senyenson, and that's it. And
another team's third best prospect could be better than Boston's Stanika. Is right? Like, is Owen? Would you prefer, like Chase, for you example? Would you prefer Stanika or Tippett? Like,
Ooh.
right? Like that one's even pretty
Depends
close.
what I got situational wise. If I needed a
right?
centerman pretty bad, I'd
Then you
probably
take
take
Stanika, right?
But
So
if I need
I don't
a
know.
winger, I'd be taking
It's
Tippett
not.
100%.
That's just the point I'm trying to get. It's not that far off, and Florida has a prospect miles better in Lundell.
Yeah.
So I wonder if Boston has to give up someone they really don't want to, or two, or two.
Yeah, I hate to say this again, but like I said with Zona, like you could play the long game. Like, why not take a bunch of just names? Like, you could maybe you can make a trade where you just snag a bunch of guys that you can pay off in the future. Because, like, you're not maybe the idea is to not break the bank and get the super epic guy right now. Like, be patient. Like, you're gonna get a super epic guy. You're a shitty team in the league. Like,
and that's exactly where they're leaning, right? I wonder if you want to get worse as a team.
Yeah, like, do you need a Denisenko and a Tippett and all these awesome guys right now that are going to make your team like good now, almost more or less? Hey, which
why don't they just go out and say, we'll give Chikrin up, but we want your first this year and next year, nothing else?
Yeah,
that's what I was thinking.
Why don't you do that? Like, or instead of doing
give me a D-man.
You either give me
2 first-round picks and some guy or something, a couple guys, because
you either give me your best prospect or 2 first-round picks. And no matter what, you're throwing in a D-man. That's what I'm saying if I'm Arizona. A D-man who's under the age of 27.
Yeah.
Would be nice. Just so he can play now, but be there for a bit. At least 3-4 years would be nice if he could play. Or be eligible to play for Arizona. So I think
because the reason I wanted to bring up such a slightly underwhelming trade is because I think it's an option for Arizona. Like, they don't need to get some epic guy. I really don't think they do. They got time, man. Like, if there's one team that's got time, it's Arizona. You got a couple of years before really anything starts taking off, So
absolutely, that's true. I think
you take advantage of that and
take advantage of the long game. Call Nashville, take Askarov from them or something straight up for Chikrin. Do something crazy like that. Like, get something where it's like, we're set in this position for the next 10 years, and like why don't you get a young goalie or something?
Was Arizona aren't likely to go for a major goalie because they always have good goalie prospects come up from out of nowhere.
That's true. They do tend to.
Yeah, like they have like David.
I know, but they just need a
Askarov
number one like guy.
Yeah, Askarov could be like Vasilevsky,
right? Like that's why I threw something like that out there. So yeah, I don't know. This trade sucks. If I'm being honest, for everyone involved.
You gotta wonder. That's the one thing that I'm wondering with Chikrin is that, like, if you do go big game hunting, like, what are they giving you back? They're just like, oh yeah, you want him? Okay, well that's it.
Yep.
Like, oh yeah, okay,
that's true.
I'll give you like this. Like, sure, yeah, I'll throw you a little bit of that with that, but no, like, I'm not giving you like three pieces when I'm giving you my best piece or something like that. Like Chikrin's great and all, but like Chikrin's not Victor Hedman or
not yet,
these sort of guys, So
that's the issue. Is like, he's not 100% round out his game, but he could be the best, but he isn't yet. He's on a good contract. Like,
there's already a lot of really good defensemen that is as good, if not much better, and probably going to be that good for the remainder of their foreseeable future. Like, is Chikrin gonna take another 2 steps in his game and be?
You know what? I'm gonna answer that in a different. Elite? I think I can answer that, and I know why. Put yourself in anyone's shoes who signed a defenseman this offseason, and I'm not talking. I'm not talking the Poolmans and shit. I'm talking minimum $8 million plus. $8 million plus. Like the like $9 million. Yeah, but like the Makar contract you're looking at. You're looking at the Fox. Like, you're looking at all these contracts, and Nurse. And then you go, how do we fit 2 of the best D-men in? Well, Chikrin's got a contract of $4.5 million for 3 more years after this.
Mm-hmm.
That's how you do it. I think that's the reason. It's the potential, but it is the money. What he's being paid for term is why he's term, right?
Yeah, you're definitely gonna have to give up too much. That's
too much for 100%. This guy, and I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing.
No,
but
I don't think it actually is really.
I would be. You better do your damn due diligence and make sure you don't want any of the guys you're giving up to lose this trade. Chikrin's great, but
because what I'm getting at is like get the big all-star super good prospect or whatever, but like if Chychrun doesn't become like actually elite,
a top
you're
3
losing.
D
You're kind of
man.
losing, are you not? Like
if he's not at bare minimum your second best left-hand defenseman on your team, and by second best, he like the guy ahead of him needs to be that type of Darnell Fox or like So I don't know. This trade is gonna be crazy when it happens because I think we're gonna be shocked no matter what, whether it's too much, too little, or what. Something crazy is gonna happen.
This is the one guy, other than like, because like we've had Duchesne's and we've had people come up before, and it took so long for this to happen, like Eichel and stuff. Like this is the one guy who has a good enough contract. Somebody will bite and give you too much for this to make this playoff run,
right?
And
that's the biggest thing, right?
Who doesn't think they'll be here soon again?
Yeah, exactly, right? Like a Boston, like we mentioned. It's the same scenario. Like think of how much the Leafs could get from Michael Bunting. Like right now, because he signed to a $900K contract next year and has proved he's a top 6 NHL forward. Like it's just stuff like that. Like money talks the best. And if
there's no losing when this guy's on your team. Like that's the thing. The duration of Chychrun's contract, you don't lose. You could give the guy fucking any prospect, all your prospects. You won't lose the next 3 years.
No,
unless like you're Toronto and you give them Sandin and Liljegren and Robertson, and all 3 of those guys get fucking
our top line players.
You know, like that's the only way you lose.
There's very few ways you're
because
you
probably won the cup or did really good with Chychrun on a Toronto team or something. You know, like
Hey,
I don't think
I got one for you guys. I got like the loosest trade I just come up with off the top of my head in my life, but I want to hear what you think because I want to hear what Chase thinks mainly because it's a Red Wings trade. What if you guys got Chychrun for like Zadina, a first, and like another prospect that you don't want or something?
Oh, buddy, there would be Niederbach. There's so many guys.
Like Niederbach or like
we have a lot of
a defenseman that you got.
That other GMs might actually really like.
A Gustav Lindstrom in that deal, or a Hronek or something like
give him Nick Leddy. Smoking Nick Leddy.
Oh yeah, man.
No, we should. We need the guy right now.
Exactly.
We should do that. Like,
that's enough. Like that's the best part about Chychrun. The best part about Chychrun is any team in the NHL could trade for him, and it's a good idea.
Yeah, exactly.
We've never seen a player like this. There's the only players in the NHL like this are the players like McDavid and like Crosby, typically. Like the obvious best players in the league, and you're gonna win the deal. But like every team could deal with Chychrun right now. His contract's perfect. He's a top D man. I know he's not necessarily right-handed, but still a top 4 D man. Very valuable. $4 million. Like it's insane. So I really hope this deal goes through. I really do. At some point, I don't care who it is. I would like Chychrun traded because I want to see what it looks like.
What can be got for him.
Yeah, I want to see how close we are.
Yeah, like what's the end value? Hey,
what is the end value of Chychrun at this age with this contract? That's what I want to know.
Before the deadline, because everything changes in the offseason a little bit. Like I said with Eichel, like his price kind of got drove down because everybody was like, well, I'm not actually going to give you that much.
Yeah,
and it turned out that nobody was actually going to give you that much, and it's like
we don't.
Shit.
Yeah, exactly.
We're taking this deal then.
We don't 100% know we're going to be a great team next year. Like halfway through the year, you got a good idea whether you're going to be a playoff team or not.
And this is Zona just pimping it out. I'm loving what this GM's doing. Pimp this guy. See if somebody will fucking bite and give you way too much for him.
Yeah, dangle the lure, and if someone bites, you reel that bitch in. As fast as you can, like you deal done. Sure, I'll trade Chychrun for your best prospect and first round pick deal.
Yeah, dude. Yes,
Jordan's
trade is just madness. Like
it is madness.
And if someone not accept that, you got to.
I accept that. If I'm Arizona, I accept that in a heartbeat. Because I wonder if Lynch or Forsling's better value actually than not actually for the potential of what Chychrun can be, but he's also got 2 extra.
So interested to see what Forsling would do on Zona.
2.7 million. He's making half the contract and is probably scoring better. Like I know he's not a better team, obviously, but It's just something, yeah. I really like Forsling, so that's why I'm like instantly like, yes.
Yeah, and the reason a guy likes Forsling so much because they usually play Ekblad and Uyghur together. And tell me who's on the second pairing.
Yeah, Forsling and Montour, maybe.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Right, Montour.
Yeah, like
exactly. Hey,
exactly. So you can get rid of Forsling. Yeah, that would be good. Hey, holy shit! I'm just thinking of that Florida team with Chychrun in it. Yeah, it would be. They're overpaying hell, but man.
I think you could give them a real chance to win the Stanley Cup. I would give them a real chance to win. I don't think they're going to win the Stanley Cup this year. No. Just be based off of it's like your first real time of like being the beast that you are. Like,
and
you were really
also
good last year, but
also keep in mind the fact that Florida, Tampa, or Toronto, one of those teams, if they make it to the Cup final or conference or wherever, they'll have the hardest run to the Cup final in the NHL. Because the East is such a wagon. They'll have to play each other twice, two of each other, either Florida, Tampa, or Toronto, pretty much. Unless they get lucky with the wildcard team like Boston. But, and I say lucky. It's going to be an insanely hard for any.
I wonder if it will be like who gets out of that is basically going to win, you know? Unless Carolina can do it.
Yep. I'm willing, and that's exactly it.
And like, Carolina's young guys. Like, I love Carolina, but
what if they got
when it comes down to actually in the playoffs, I'm a
they're
little
a
worried
young
for them.
Team. I'm not worried.
Like, they look so good.
Nope.
I guess I shouldn't say worried. Like, they are so good. They looked and showed it last year
and the year before
that they can push in the playoffs. But
this has been 3 years to me. I don't know, Carolina. It's been 3 years, 4 years where I'm like, this team has done everything that we've asked them to progress.
Freddie's helping me a lot. Believe in this team.
Yep.
Because you need that goalie to be that good.
Yeah, and I don't know. I feel like they're obviously downgraded without Dougie this year, but I still think that they're going to be a wagon this year. But
yeah, they've still managed wicked good with
they have the best coach too, right? Like that kind of helps. So anyways, that's all we got time for. Do you guys have any final things to say before I plug our stuff and close out the pod?
No, I don't think so.
No?
No, cool. I don't think so.
All right, guys. So that's it for today's podcast. They'll see you guys next week or next pod on Tuesday, I believe is when they drop. Go follow us on our social medias on Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube at The Couch on Ice. We are engaged a lot more on those. So tweet us some ideas if you want. Anything. Whatever you feel like. Tell us how stupid we are. We know. But it's okay.
Yeah.
Honestly,
I'd like to know how dumb I am.
I would actually be very... You guys should make a chart on who is the worst for us, and then
I'll just put a poll.
Put a poll out. Who is the worst to listen to on the Couch on Ice podcast? Rhylan, Jason, Jordan.
Number 1, Rhylan. 2, Rhylan. 3, Rhylan.
Number 1, Rhylan. Number 2, the Penguins fan. Number 3, the other Penguins fan. The one who doesn't shut up about the fucking Penguins. Yeah, no. Anyways, if you want to hear my beautiful voice again, we'll catch you guys next podcast. Bye, guys.
Peace.
Peace.